Well, good rising, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee Talk. Coffee Talk with Karen B. Thank you all for being here on this fine Moonday morning. It is October 10th, 10/10, 10/10/22, and it is T-minus 12 days to Flattoberfest. I'm getting excited. Oh my gosh, excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. Take a drink of that coffee. I can tell everybody's getting excited. I am starting to feel the excitement myself. We're gonna have a great time. Do you guys know that? Do you know that we're gonna have the most amazing time together? Just as usual, but it's gonna be, I'm just so happy, you guys. Mark Sargent is gonna be with us again. Mark Sargent, I'm so happy. And also Rick will be there. Rick Hummer. Do you guys know who Rick Hummer is? He's a lot of fun too. I'm not entirely sure what's gonna happen at Flattoberfest, to be honest with you. I mean, I have the schedule there and you know who's going to be there, but as far as like, you know, but as far as like shenanigans go, I feel like there's going to be some shenanigans. I don't know why I feel this. I hope it's all fun though. I think it'll all be good. It'll be good. It's going to be fun. We don't get trolls, but I feel like there's going to be some shenanigans. I don't know why. Maybe I'm wrong. But when you get Mark and Rick together, a lot of times there's shenanigans. It's fun. Anyway. Yes, thank you, Tristan. Let me say hello to all you fine people in the chat. Wow. Over here on Rockfin. Grand Rising, Tom Nixon, Amos. Thanks, Karen B. Well, thank you for the tip, Amos. I appreciate that. Greetings, all much love, says Psyop within a Psyop. Is this rise and shine? Rough week on the homestead here. Oh, yeah. Oh, Valley Parks, I'm so sorry. Well, I hope you're feeling better now. Now that you're here, chilling, listening to Coffee Talk. And I'm sorry that Rockfin is glitchy and didn't give you your little green badge, but I know that you're a wonderful, very great supporter. Don't worry, you're the best. I love you. Lori Lewis gave me a tip. Wow, thank you, Lori. Shout out to you. Ashley Knopp, good to see you. Mark Wantraba, good rising all. Coffee has always been my favorite flavor. Strangely, I don't drink it. Haha. So you like coffee flavored stuff, but not coffee itself. Good rising, Rose. Can't wait. Yes, it's going to be awesome. Rose, I saw that you posted that there was a lunar wave caught on Take Back Space last night. And it's so funny because like this last weekend here I went to Ted and I had to take a little road trip to Indiana to go to his sister's wedding. So I was out of town this weekend and, traveling a lot. But I was listening to a lot of podcasts. I listened to episode 444 of Crow with Woody and Ewar, and I freaking loved it. Loved it. Everybody should go listen to that right now. Well, okay, after my show, you can go listen to it. Not right now. But maybe after this, if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it because it needs to be heard. And also, yeah, I have it up on the screen here. We're going to look at it because there is a second wave. I don't know if you saw me reply just before I started my stream, but there's two. But the first one, you just barely see a little tiny flash of it, because right at that moment where it happens, his CD stream glitches, and you can see like the numbers start jumping down here, in the little timestamp area where it tells you, it says 9/10/2022, right? And it's like the hours are in 24-hour format, and it starts to jump. The seconds jump. It like goes like from 36 to 38 to 42 or something like that. It starts jumping right there. But you can't really tell from when he's talking, but you can see it jumping. Well, maybe you can tell, but it is there. So I wanted to show that it did. The first one is a glitch, but you can see it. You could barely see it. It's only there for like just a few frames. It's really not there for very long, but it's really cool that it was caught, right? On a full moon. Nice, beautiful full moon, lunar wave. And they're not always on a full moon, if I remember correctly. Like, they happen kind of randomly, it seems, almost now. I don't know if they ever figured out, or if Crow ever noticed a pattern. Maybe, I know at one point he thought it was like on or near equinoxes and solstices. But right now, we're not in either. So, I know there was one recently, but I don't know. You know, it seems kind of random to me. Anyway, we'll look at that in a minute. Let me go over here and say hi to you good people on YouTube. Commercial sound and video. Grand Rising, folks. I made coffee. All right, right on, Nathan. It's good to see you. Dan Morris, Chicago artist. Chris Shibak. MFT, good to see you. Rob Cleveland. Joseph Lynch, BCB. Spicy Sarah. Good day. Good day, Spicy Sarah. Woke up to master a mole sauce. Exciting. Does that mean you're gonna master a mole sauce? Or who? I love mole. I freaking love mole sauce, by the way. I love it. Joelle Lynn, good to see you. Lovely lady. Jenny Spark, good to see you. Grand Rising. Tristan Lavrak. Kelly F.E. Mother Dragon, good to see you. Emmett Pamp. Ted Summer. Billingtano Bear. Grand Rising. I'm almost done with my coffee. Someone bring me more. I know. Yeah. Feel that. I feel that. Zombie. Annie D. Good to see you. Zombie Snoop. Zombie Snoop, you were the one who was caught in the hurricane. Good to see you. Hope you're doing better. Well, I know you're doing good because you were the one who were spared. You were spared. So that's awesome. I think that was the coolest story ever because not everybody was spared. Oh, and by the way, I know there was a big to-do about getting Truth Smacks to the event because Suzanne, who does Truth Smacks, was based in Naples, Florida, and her car was damaged big time in the hurricane, you know, because of all the flooding and stuff. So, so for a minute there, we were trying to struggle about how to get her there, and some gracious person who is a viewer of mine and other people, a wonderful flat earther with a big heart, paid for her to get a rental so that she can rent the car, drive to Greenville and back, and there's no problem. She can bring all her stuff because that was part of the issue, because she's bringing all her Truth Smacks because she's going to have a setup there at the event. And so to this anonymous person who donated to Suzanne so she could get to the event, thank you. Thank you so much. You are a kind, wonderful soul. And I told Suzanne this. I said, okay, well, he can't make it to the event. But if he's able to make it to the event I do next year on the West Coast, he definitely gets a free ticket. So thank you. And I don't know. We'll see what else we can do for him. We're going to do something nice. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I am extremely grateful to this person. So Suzanne does not have to miss out on the event and being with all of us. And we don't have to miss having her there. So that's a wonderful thing. Effed Up World, good to see you. Effie Viking, Dave Messenger. Good to see you. Tom Budis, Thunder Chicken. And, chat, don't jump on me. Ariel Truthseeker. NH Guy. Good to see you. Dr. Law 0206. Ted Summer again. That's my man. Backwardsworld.jg. Alex Javier. And all you wonderful people. Did somebody say echo chamber? Oh, are you upset? I know that you're new here, but you know, echo chamber. It's impossible for flat earthers to live in an echo chamber. Can I just say that? Like, it's impossible. I mean, this is why we go and we make channels where we can just talk to each other and not get any shit. Because it's literally impossible to be a flat earther and live in an echo chamber. I mean, unless you're surrounded and live with other flat earthers in like some sort of remote location where you have no access to the outside world at all whatsoever. Then maybe you might be in an echo chamber. And I would call that peaceful. BCB, we can send you email. Okay. Okay. Let's see. You sent it to flatearthfestivals@protonmail.com. Is it from the brain? Is that what it says? Oh, wait, that's got to be you because... Yes. Yes, I did get it. I did. You'll be arriving after a long drive from Maryland. Okay. Alrighty. Well, we're having the meetup at the park, Brian. So, if you get there Thursday, I suggest you go to your hotel and you sleep after your long drive. Okay? Go to your hotel and sleep. And then Friday, we have the park reserved across the street from the venue starting at 9 a.m. I will not make it there at 9 a.m. I'm just going to tell you right now, that's not going to happen. So, if you want, you can go to the park. You'll see that they'll put up a sign because we have it reserved. It says FE Family. Okay, the sign will say FE Family when you get to the park. And you can just hang out and start welcoming and meeting flat earthers if you want. I mean, you know, that would be great. You're still treating your community like one. Not willing to discuss. Not willing to discuss what? Not willing to discuss what? And don't tell me that I'm not willing to discuss stuff. Listen, I've been here for 7 years discussing this crap. 7 years! I mean, I don't know who you are, Mr. Anonymous, raise your voice, but I was here 7 years discussing this crap and arguing with people for the very beginning, the majority of the early part of those 7 years. So don't come over here all new, all never been here before, saying that, oh, you don't want to discuss it. No, I'm just tired of it. It's not that I don't want to. I'm just got tired of arguing with you brickheads. As soon as that came out of my mouth, the irony of that statement, but that's what you are. Globe heads, brick heads, because you don't want to look at any evidence that is opposing to your belief, and then all you do is come over here and go, you just don't understand. You guys just don't understand. That's all. Trying to tell us that we don't believe in science and blah, 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 and the same old stupid bullshit you always say. And, I just got tired of it. It's not that I don't want to discuss it. I would discuss it if somebody was genuinely curious, and really wants to know, have an understanding of why we think the way we think and why we do what we do and why we are so adamant about the fact that the earth is not a globe, then let's have a discussion. But I'm not interested in arguing with somebody who comes to this with the assumption that they are automatically right and that they know everything, and they're gonna inform me. They're gonna tell me where I went wrong and what I don't understand, and they're gonna explain it to me, and then I'm gonna get it and go, oh, you're right, I was wrong. We do live on a globe. Blah, blah, blah. That's not gonna freaking happen. So, it's not that I'm not willing to discuss it. I'm not willing to argue. I don't want to argue with you. They don't want to listen. They don't have any interest in seeing what your side of it is. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? You guys know. They don't care. They just want to tell you how wrong you are and how right they are. And how you just need to, go back to school. You don't understand science. People who are smarter than you figured it out already, so why are you even asking this question? We all just know. It's just a given. Okay? I mean, who needs that? I don't. I spent my whole life being told what to think and told what is true and what is not true. And I don't need you to come over here and keep doing it again. Just get out. And it's so funny. It's like when What's His Nuts came over here and crashed my stream. You guys remember that? McLooney Tune, as Witsit calls him. You guys just have to excuse me. I'm doing my makeup also. I had all my stuff packed because we had to go on a road trip. And so none of my stuff was where it should be. And then we had to go return the rental car this morning right before my stream. So a little behind. But I didn't want to make you guys wait. So I went ahead and started the stream. I figured I'll just talk and not make you look at me yet. But yeah, so McToon comes over here and he has to crash my Strange World stream because he's already tried to get me to debate him and asked me to go on streams with him and blah, 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 all this crap before. He's already tried. And I said no. And I said no for a good reason. I just don't want, I just can't. I mean, it's cringy. It's a waste of my time. And you know how many of these Glober channels that I have seen start up after I have started my channel? Or all these Glober channels that have like 100,000 subs, and then they make videos, you know, about me, and they send their troll army over here to spam my channel and tell me how I'm retarded and how I shouldn't be allowed to have children, even though I already have children, or that I should have my children taken away from me. You know, then they send their internet bully army over here, right? And these people their channels just get bigger, they get paid a bunch of money, and then what happens to us? We get shadow banned. We get banned, okay? We get buried by the algorithms, okay? And these guys are the ones making money off flat earth, and then they'll be like, oh, you guys just say the earth is flat so you can make money. Bro, no. No. You do not make money by going on the internet and telling everybody, hey, did you know the earth is flat? You get freaking attacked is what you get. You get censored, you get buried, you get made fun of, you know, you get your channel taken down, you get your work taken down. Well, not really so much for flat earth itself anymore, but you know, because of the other things that you talk about, because when you become awakened or aware of the deception that is the globe lie, then you become aware of just about every other stinking, filthy, rotten lie that they tell you, and then you can spot them a mile away. So then you start going, hey, also this, and that. And then you start telling people about things that, you know, that will help them to not live in fear and to see through the lies. And then you get buried. Then you get your channel taken away. Because, you know, they want people to live in fear. They want people to be afraid of the next impending whatever doomsday thing that is going to be going on. So you don't make any money by being a flat earther on YouTube, okay? We all have to do something else. We all have to do, you know, other things. And a lot of us depend on the generous donations of people who also care about the truth. So thank you to all of you who watch the streams and to donate to the content creators that you like. And especially to those who come to the events, you know, well, for one, I put on events, but it's great to be in person. There's nothing like seeing someone in real life. And it's just like, it's the one thing that all you freaking trolls will never do. You don't ever want to show your face, you know? You guys just sit there like a little keyboard warrior and go, science, you guys don't understand science. You guys suck. And then, when we get tired of taking your abuse, because that's what it is, it's just abuse. You guys are just verbally abusing. It's all you're capable of doing. So, then we don't want to talk to you, and then you guys go, oh, you don't want to discuss anything. You guys are afraid. Blah, 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 blah. Nobody's afraid of you, you dipshit moron. Nobody. And certainly not me. I just have better things to do with my time. Like this, Coffee Talk. With you fine, truth-seeking, truth-loving people, right? Your personal training business grows the more you talk about flat earth. Right on. Nice. Do you get if you're a personal trainer, then a lot of athletic people, you know, they're into, you know, the jujitsu and stuff. So like, they probably have you probably come across a lot of people who are fans of Eddie Bravo, I'm guessing. That's really cool. And because flat earthers are really health conscious, you know, because we realize that we've been poisoned, been poisoned and are actively, constantly being poisoned. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an ongoing thing. So we know that you have to always like be like, detoxing, intermittent fasting, eating clean, drinking clean water. So I'm guessing that that's how that would go. Yeah, I love the rants. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Why does everybody like rants so much? Sorry about that, Tonto Bong Ronto. Do you want me to tell you to get your butt up and go do what you need to do? Snow sucks. Mark Shire, thank you, Karen, for all you do. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Seriously, we have the best people. I was telling this to Ted earlier because I was worried about Suzanne, the Truth Smacks, getting to the event. And I've been like messaging and emailing people. And, and I messaged Dr. Law. I'm like, Dr. Law, we need to do something to help get Suzanne to the event. She's having trouble. And he's like, I'm way ahead of you. I was like, you're the best, dude. You're the best. Like, we really don't have to worry about much when you got a bunch of flat earthers around you. You know what I'm saying? You really don't. Because we got each other's backs so good. Excuse me. Best. So Suzanne from Truth Smacks will be at the event with no issue. Anyway, I said the man donated, but even if that hadn't happened, like we had plan Bs already in place, right? We already had backup plans. We were like, all right, what are we going to do? And I was like, okay, well, we'll raise some funds. I'll talk about it on Coffee Talk, blah, blah, blah. As Alex Javier says, blah, blah, blah. I was told I don't say blah, blah, blah enough anymore. So there's your blah, blah, blah. So we have the best people. I was like, Ted, we have the best people. He says, I know. Because we don't leave each other behind. Which is awesome. I'm curious too. It says in the Bible it's a stationary planet. What are you guys talking about? Let's find out. Let's investigate. I like to look into stuff live on Coffee Talk. We're gonna look at some stuff. I'm almost done. I just have to, yeah. So anyway, I just want to say that you guys are all the best. Okay? The freaking best. Also, events, speakers, performers. Look at all these cool people who are going to be at Flattoberfest. Mark Sargent, Austin Whitsitt of Whitsitt Gets It, and he's a Globebuster. Sean Griffin of Kingdom and Context. Benjamin Balderson. Jason Lindgren. Marty Leeds. Can you believe it? It's going to be so great. Zach and Cammie with How the World Works exhibit. Oh, by the way, the How the World Works exhibit will be in a separate room this year. So, how anybody who was at the event before where we were all just in the one main room, I have added the other room, the back room, to the event. So all of the vendors, all the tables, anybody with an exhibit like the How the World Works exhibit, Chief Crow will have a table, like a merch table, and Watson Atkinson will be in there hanging, so that it'll be like this whole separate room where you can go to talk. And if you want to hear the presentation, you won't have to worry about it. There won't be none of that going on in the main room at the same time like it was before, and it became very difficult to hear stuff. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. And also, One Big Love will be playing live music at the end of day 1. And Chief Crow will be closing out day 2. And Austin and Kai Whitsitt will be playing some music. Live music as well. And they have some new stuff that they are, I think, gonna have maybe like a couple new songs that y'all haven't heard before, which will be cool. And yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Okay, I'm almost done. Sorry. Who else is going to be there? Grounded Extracts. Sarah and Griff, I think, are doing a, along with how Dr. Law he'll do food. I don't know if you're in there talking in the chat about doing food, Dr. Law, but Dr. Law will be there cooking food. He'll be there at the park cooking food. So Brian CB, if you want to go hang out there, you'll probably be there with Dr. Law when he gets there, and you can help Dr. Law set up all his gear if you want. Dr. Law's the best. What do you think about that? I hate capitulating. Glad you didn't call it True Toberfest. Sticking to flat, no compromises. Well, I'll tell you what, MFT. That's been my stance for most of the time as well. But I'm highly considering my next event in the West Coast not having flat in the title of the event. But it will, but I'm not sure. That's not a for sure thing yet, but I'm considering not, because trying to get people to participate in an event that is, flat earth related, especially if you want, or it's flat earth titled, and like sometimes these people will think that they're like that, if they talk at an event like that or participate in it, that they have to proclaim that they are a flat earther. And they just don't want to do that, They don't want to have that title stuck on them. You know what I'm saying? So even if they're sympathetic to the cause, or they know the earth is flat, there's certain people that I can't get, because of that. Now, so I considered doing an event that is still, you'll still clearly know that it's a not a mainstream thought event, but something else. And I don't know. Cooking food all week long. Flat Earth sympathizers, yeah. True Earth. I know, Jaren started using True Earth. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I thought of using True Earth. Here. I thought of using True Earth as a name for stuff a long time ago. I was going to do that because of the stigma around flat Earth. And then I decided, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put True Earth because nobody's going to know what that is. And, you know, and you'll probably just get a bunch of hippies or, you know, I don't know. Even though, like, I agree that True Earth is a good name, but it just seems like I just didn't want to do it because to me, it just, I wanted to be in your face, flat Earth. You know what I mean? I mean, I know you know what you mean. You know, it's like I don't want to have to hide in the shadows. You know, I don't want to have to, you know, kid gloves with people. Does that make sense? Thanks, Billingtano. How long have I been going? Almost 40 minutes. There's nothing wrong with changing the times. Our Earth Festival. Call myself Flat Earth, but I have more words after that. Yeah. Geocentric is a good way to describe it. The Geocentrists conference. How about that? You did a rant on Strange World where some caller said he just started working at the hospital and COVID made his job hard. That's my favorite rant. That was the very beginning of 2021. That was like the first show of 2021. And that was before, unfortunately, before Mark Sargent was coming on camera with me at that point, you know, on stream. So you can only see my face. And I'm like wanting to, like, for the first segment, I just wanted to jump out of my skin. And then finally, towards the end, I just had to unleash. I know, it was terrible. Can someone please tell us about... Oh, Doc Michael. Okay, Doc Michael, yes. Doc Michael passed. Do you guys remember Doc Michael? Doc Michael was a really nice man, a flat earther. He'd been with us for a very long time. Pretty much from the beginning, as far as I can see. I remember in the very early days, he used to comment on Dr. Zach's video, encouraging him a lot. And Dr. Zach was first making those videos about triangulating the sun and all that stuff. He's always just really been an awesome, awesome dude. So here, I'll show you. There's Doc. That's Doc Michael. And he did pass. I'm not exactly sure when he passed, but I know that unfortunately he was alone, and he did live alone, and I think it was a while before they found him. His neighbors became concerned because they hadn't seen or heard from him for a while, and so they went to go check on him, and they found him, and he had been passed for some time. But I guess the coroner said that it looked like it was from natural causes, and I don't see any reason to believe, you know, anything else. I don't believe that Doc got the jab or anything like that. He was an older guy, but he wasn't super old, but he had a lot of issues. I think he'd had some health issues. Anyway, we miss you, Doc, and we hate to see you go, but we know that you basically got out. You got out of the physical world. You made it to the spirit world. And we know you're in a better place where you don't have your aches and your pains anymore. So that's it. That's what that... I don't really have any other details other than that. But he was a really good guy. So here, yeah, you can see here. His Sue, and we only found out because Sue lives in California, and Doc lived in California, and I think they did a meetup, and she met Doc, and she met his neighbor, Okay. And then because she met his neighbor, I guess the neighbor plays music or something, and she was following him on Facebook, and she asked the neighbor because she hadn't heard from Doc. And I was thinking about it too. I was like, man, I ain't seen Doc around for a while. And so she asked the neighbor and messaged him, and then he informed her about what happened. So that's it. Yeah. So, yeah, Doc was, yeah, he was a nice guy. He was one of my moderators. Hung out with Doc Michael at both Sacramento meetups. Yeah. And Effie Mishka messaged me. She was pretty upset to hear about it too, because she's one of the people who organized one of the meetups, or the meetups that he went to with everybody. Yeah. Cheers, Martin Ellen. Yeah. So, sad to hear about that. But yeah, that's what happened. Okay. Doc was one of everyone's moderators, right? He'd been around for a long time. Doc's been around for a long time. Or he was around for a long time. So, anyway, R.I.P. Doc. Rest in paradise. That's what happened. So, yeah, late. Yes, you're late. That'll be 2 demerits, Rico's tinfoil sombrero, for being late.
Welcome to the conference center. You are a host.
And I'll just, on that note, the phone lines are open, 848-222-2480, if you would like to call in at some point. But I would like to go over here, and I've got a few things to discuss today. Let's check this out, you guys. The lunar wave was caught. Let's have a look. I'm going to go back to the bigger screen so you guys can see this better. So check it out. Right down here, you'll see.
Oh, damn. Lunar wave, y'all. Lunar wave.
Yeah.
Check it out. A pretty thick cloud cover, which with the palmetto, the moon is incredibly bright and somewhat
now look at,
low
see
at
how
the
it's
moment.
jumping
Yeah,
down
still
here?
coming up for
36,
me.
39, 42.
A pretty thick cloud cover.
There it goes.
Which is unexpected.
Right there.
But
and then boom, there's the second
damn,
one.
Lunar wave, y'all. Lunar wave.
Okay, so let's see.
Still coming up for me. I got like a pretty thick cloud cover, which was.
Let's see if I can slow this down. And then I'm going to go. Play.
It was unexpected, but oh damn, lunar wave, y'all. Lunar wave.
Oh, I went back the other way. I sped it up instead of slowed it down. What a dum-dum. 25. Okay, so we'll go back.
Lunar wave.
Lunar wave, y'all.
Wave,
but there it is. Okay, so hold on. Let's go back a little bit more. Let me see if I can pause it on the first one. Okay. Right here. It's right here. That stupid play bar won't go away. But it's right there. Like the numbers start skipping around. Okay? And the stream is jumping right before this happens. And then right here you can see on the moon, it's got the doot doot You only see it for just a second. Actually, I wonder if it shows up on the other side. Let's look. Usually you can see it on both sides. So let's watch the outer edge over here.
Which was unexpected, but yeah, it's still coming up for me.
Still coming up for me.
Pretty thick cloud cover.
I'm looking on the right side now to see if I see it on the other side, because you can see the edge over there still. Oh, no, you can't. But you start to see it come down right here. Watch. Do you see it?
Thick cloud cover.
Blip. There's the first one, barely coming by, and you just see it for a second, right there. And then it goes away, and then here comes the second one. Doot, 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 doot.
Oh, damn. Lunar Wave.
Oh, damn, Lunar Wave. Yeah, buddy. Good job, CD. Let's watch up here. Maybe it'll...
Cloud cover. Which pretty...
Oh, yeah. Oh, you do see it at the top. I think I just saw it. Here, watch. Watch right here. Okay?
Coming up for me. I got like a pretty
Yeah, buddy. Right there. No?
cover, which was
Then it's down here.
expected.
And then blip, 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 blip. There's a second one. Yeah.
Expected.
You can see it a little bit up here.
Unexpected.
Oh, not. I didn't go back far enough.
Got like a pretty thick cloud cover, which was unexpected.
And then blip, 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 blip.
Oh, damn. Like, at the moment, yeah, still coming up for me. I got like a pretty thick cloud cover, which was unexpected, but oh damn, Lunar Wave, y'all.
Anyway, that's really cool. So then you can see it right there. But it's hard to see it on the other side. But usually, like on the other ones that we've seen, you can see it across the whole moon, but it's difficult to see it here because of the cloud cover. But there are two, and then the first one, you only see it for just a little bit, just a few frames, and then you see the second one real good there in the lower left corner. Yeah. Yeah, I have seen that, the moon flickering. Actually, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but, and I put it in my Unveiling This Realm intro, there's a time lapse I did of the night sky. There's a time lapse I did of the night sky, and it's the moon does that. It's like in the frame, it like gets lower and dimmer and lower and dimmer. And there's clouds, but it doesn't look like it's because of clouds because the clouds aren't going over the moon. I don't know. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe, well, I don't want to have to find it right now, but because looking for an actual clip takes time and blah blah blah. But next time you watch the Unveiling This Realm intro, keep an eye out for it. Oh damn, Lunar Wave, y'all. Yeah, it's funny when it's all slowed down, huh? Let's see, let's play it.
Oh damn, Lunar Wave, y'all. Yeah, cool part in Lost, and that's why spiders build along these same lines, and that's why stars are formed along those same lines, I imagine. There is that cool part in Lost. I see Amy in the chat. What's going on, Amy G?
But you see how the clouds jump? Because the stream is skipping right at that time, unfortunately. So there goes the first one.
Which was unexpected.
They're right there. And then the second one.
Oh damn, Lunar Wave, y'all. Yeah, it's still coming up for me. I got like me in the chat. What's going on, Amy G? Beautiful evening in Palmetto. The moon is incredibly bright and somewhat low at the moment. Yeah, it's still coming up for me. I got like a pretty thick cloud cover.
There goes the first one. Blip, blip, blip.
But,
and then the second.
Oh damn, Lunar Wave, y'all.
Lunar
Wave. Check it out. Dang. Is that the first wave or the second? Let's watch.
You caught the second one.
Keep an eye on,
so that's cool. You guys should go sub CD's channel, Take Back Space TV. He was actually one of the first guests, or a guest early on in the Globebusters show. He does not subscribe to the flat earth theory. And he does talk a lot about the luminaries. He's big into Electric Universe, though. And he does talk a lot about the luminaries. And he's very knowledgeable about them, you know, as far as mainstream knowledge goes and stuff like that. And what they're called and what things are named and blah, blah, blah. But he's got this great telescope, as you can see. And he does 4K full moon, you know. And he'll look at Jupiter, too. He'll go, let's see if we can find... anyway, it's really awesome. And also he plays music. He makes his own music. So it's pretty cool. What's this? But then, you know, he'll have like a stream of the full moon going. Oh, look at that. The moon has changed color because it's starting to descend. No? And sometimes he'll look at Saturn and Jupiter and other things. Although it says he was looking at Jupiter. Was he doing that first? Maybe he was doing that first. Oh, yeah. So here. There you go. So he'll zoom in on Jupiter. And it's pretty cool. You know, if you don't have a telescope, which I don't, they're pretty pricey, then you can... go to his channel and watch. Oh, then he's going to the moon. He's already going to the moon. I think he started on Jupiter. Anyway, thought that was pretty cool. The Lunar Wave. Hello, mental pancakes. Lunar Wave is like a refresh rate scrolling across the moon. I suspect it crosses the whole sky, though. Well, actually, we see it there. Somebody showed it, the wave going over Jupiter or Saturn, one of the planets, right? Let me see if I can find it. Was it Saturn? Here. It is Take Back Space. Yeah, he was the one who got it. So watch, it's over Saturn too. This is why I love his channel. See, look at that! Right over Saturn! Boom. Look at that. I think it was just one, though. Isn't that cool? What is that? Now, you know, if we've seen it, that all of the astronomers and everybody has seen it, but they never talk about stuff like this. I've only seen, you know, people like us talk about it. I've never ever seen like anybody mainstream even address this. Have you guys? Karen, oh, Rose is getting my... Can't contact them on YouTube because I'm denied from using Google Surfaces. Oh, Jesus. If Karen looks at our Rockfin comment, she will see I answered the question. Yeah, Take Back Space and Brucey's all have big telescopes and do a lot of work. Yes. So freaking cool. Okay, I'm sorry, Rose. I should have looked back here. It's been officially 10 years that we have been wondering this, and the only person to come up with any kind of good theory is Cammy Nodell. Oh, as to what the... Yeah. And he caught the lunar wave in front of Saturn and Jupiter. That's right. So we know it's not local to the moon. She's yelling, Karen. When the wave goes over Jupiter, it also goes over the moons. It's so fucking cool. Yeah, so let's see. Let's look at Jupiter wave. Jupiter. Oh yeah, look at the moons blink out. Do it again. Wow. Boom. Blip. Blip. So it happens over the whole sky. That's a trip, right? Look at that. I love it when you bust my balls, Rose. Years of experiment. Sun is formed from some kind of ionized electric and has a power source most likely behind it. Moon is plasma light. It must draw power to illuminate. No power, no light. It's a temperature in space? Can it even have a temperature? There's nothing there. I imagine you're not down here, so I would imagine it would be rather unpleasant and feel cold. That's just my feeling. Oh, I have a caller. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, good morning, Karen. How are you doing?
Good. How are you? I'm great.
Hey, I'm excellent. Hey, kind of cool you're talking about the moon. I noticed it full last night, and it was very yellow at the horizon, and it got very bright LED light once it climbed up higher. Now, this lunar wave that got caught, was that from last night?
Yes. Yes, the one that I was showing earlier on Take Back Space, yeah, that was from last night. But I think he's even gotten it before, though. I don't think that's his first time seeing it.
Do you know what time zone this guy's in? Because I was looking at it, and a buddy of mine called me last night. We were talking about the moon, and he wanted me to break out my telescope. And I'm wondering if I would have done it right then and there, if synchronicity would have let me see that lunar wave. Because I actually have a telescope.
Well, I know that, let's see. I know that CD is, the guy who runs Take Back Space I think he's in Florida. So he's in my time zone. And for me, you wouldn't even have seen the moon yet. I don't think it would have even been above the horizon for you yet. because it was
Oh,
early in his stream. It was like the first 20 minutes, and it was like, well, I don't know, maybe. What time did you do it at?
who knows? Well, no, it was, I guess it was dark. I was talking to my friend. I think it was 9 o'clock, 9 p.m., and the moon was a good, I'd say 10 degrees above the horizon. And then by the time I went to bed at 10-ish, and when I went back outside, I think it was a good, I don't know, 20 degrees, 25 degrees, I don't know. But yeah, I look at the moon, and it takes a bit to set up a telescope and get it zoomed in, and all that. 'Cause I don't have an automatic one; it's just kind of a manual. So, and just so you know, when I looked up the telescope I got, it was only like $110. And it's not really big, but it sure blows up everything. And that one picture of the Saturn that you looked at, the Saturn wave, I brought it out that night. I don't know how many years ago it was, but when Jupiter and them all came together, and you could see the Saturn. And I had my little neighbor's kid come by, and he looked at it, and at 5 years old, he wanted to know why it looked flat. And it does look flat. It looks like a projected flat thing on a screen.
Yeah, it does.
What? Yeah, I mean, a 5-year-old said that. No one told him what to say. He just looked at it and go, "Why does it look flat?" I just started laughing.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I had this other thought. He said that lunar wave, if we believe the word of scriptures, and I know you guys do that on Saturdays, and it says he put the sun, the moon, the stars, and we call those things planets. But to me, it also looks like one single, like if it was in water and a wave went through it, isn't that what maybe that would look like as well? If it was one wave of water, like maybe something coming in and out, like maybe one of God's messengers or angels creates that wave. Is it possible? Or
I mean,
just I'm not saying it is.
I mean, it is. If they're, I mean, what we're seeing is going to be caused by something, some sort of medium being moved, right? Because that's what a wave is, right? So, I mean, possibly. Who knows? That's the thing. We don't know. Who don't know. It's so fascinating, though.
Yeah. I've never gone up there far enough, or high enough, so I can't tell you. But, the scientists have, and they wouldn't lie, right? So one last thing, I did get to meet Doc Michael. He was a very nice man. We talked quite a bit. We ate, I forget where that place was. We ate by the park, by the meetup. But I had never had empanadas before, and so me, Mishka, Jaron, and about probably 20 other people met up, at that place afterwards before everybody went home. And this was the first meetup. No, second meetup. And I remember it was on May the 4th Be With You weekend. So I forget, I think it was the year before COVID, if I'm not mistaken. So that would have been May of 2018, or no, May of 2019. Yeah, and I met Mishka, and she was very lovely. I met her at the first one. And Doc was very kind and generous, and I talked to him. It was like he was a brother of mine that I had just never met before. That's how laid back and cool he was. So, he was a very nice man. So sorry to hear that.
Yeah, for sure.
So just shout out to his family and all those in the area. And I got to get going and get ready for work. So just want to thank you for what you're doing. And shout out to Jaron and Jan. Hopefully Jan maybe might call in. And that's it.
All right.
Karen?
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks for calling.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Yeah. It's a mystery that has an obvious answer, I bet. Yeah, like most things, yeah. Cheers, Doug. Welcome to Based. Yo, Based. Is that a cheesy ass name? I didn't know what to call it. Based AF. Welcome to Based. R.I.P. Doc Michael. From Any Word. Any Word says, R.I.P. Doc Michael. I think I spoke with him on Discord when it first started briefly. Nice guy. Yeah, probably. I hope he's kicking it with Mac. Yeah. Tracking is a big deal. Yes. Yes, tracking is a big deal because the things are moving. The things in the sky are moving. Slowly, but they're moving. And when you zoom way in on them, those subtle movements, they leave your screen so fast. Like when I record the moon, I've recorded the moon and the moon will move all the way across the screen, you know, if you're zoomed in on it in just a few minutes, couple minutes, and it's gone. So tracking is a big deal. Yes. Yes, sir. Crow just told me that episode was wildly unsuccessful. People are so brainwashed about Tartaria. You know what? It's a shame. It's really a shame. But you guys, Tartaria is a flippin' mess, man. It's a mess. There's a reason I never got involved in that subject. I never got involved in that subject because it just never felt right from the very beginning. I know that history, definitely what the mainstream story is definitely in question, but to the extent that people are taking it to where they completely just annihilate everything. They disregard absolutely everything. Everything is a lie, and we didn't build that. We couldn't have built that. We don't know who did it. You guys sound like the Globies with their ancient fucking aliens. I mean, I swear to God. And then they go in Facebook and they're all in my chat telling me, "Oh, you need to look at this, look at that. It doesn't make any sense. We didn't do this." And then they cherry pick what information from mainstream that they want to believe that fits their preconceived ideas, their newfound love of Tartaria mudflood, right? And they go for confirmation bias. They just look for surface level confirmation bias. They don't want to look at anything that goes against what they've all been believing. I mean, I've already gone off about this so many times. All they do is sit there, look at pictures, and they don't tell you any information about the pictures. They just pose questions. And it's very suggestive. They've all become propagandists. They've all made people like this, everybody like a self-deprecating, stupid piece of crap. Seriously. I mean, you guys, they're going around, "Oh, no, humans didn't build that." You guys know you couldn't build it because you don't know anything. You don't have any skill. You don't have any drive. You're the one stuck on the fucking internet all day doing nothing that really makes any sort of difference in the world, right? You don't have any sense of craftsmanship. Maybe you're not the creative one, but back in the day, that was abundant because people were not made lazy by technology. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Technology has made people lazy and dumb. I mean, and your attention spans, it's ridiculous. And now you think because you're incapable of doing anything that is impressive, that nobody was capable of doing anything impressive. And that is just retarded. It's retarded. You sound like Jason's guest appearance on their show, which will soon be released. Yeah, we're excited about it because we see through the BS. Because here's the thing. True critical thinking is extremely rare. I'm sorry, but it is. It's extremely rare. There are so many people that have, just because they think that they figured out that the earth is flat and that, the globe lie and all that stuff, now that they all of a sudden know everything and that whatever they come upon and think is truth. No! We still have to keep asking questions. We still have to keep scrutinizing things. We still have to keep testing things. Don't you get it? It doesn't end at Flat Earth. Flat Earth is just the beginning. Flat Earth is just the beginning. It's the beginning of relearning this realm and remembering who we are and what we're capable of. Don't you get it? All these things that you look at in the past and say, oh, humans weren't capable of it. You shouldn't be looking at it like that. You should be looking at it like, holy crap, look at what we used to do. Look at what we used to be able to build. Look at the beautiful things that humans used to create. That's how you should be looking at it. Not like, we didn't do that. It was giants. It was aliens. It was them. The Nephilim, whatever. I mean, this is part of it. This is part of it. You guys have willingly become self-deprecating, self-hating idiots who are doing the master's work of wiping out every bit of contribution that humans have put on this plane in the last few thousand years. And trust me, it's a lot. And you guys are trying to basically cancel out the human contribution, the creation, the things that we have created. Because, you know, I was listening to the episode 444, and one thing that Crow said that I 100% agree with, and I have said stuff to this effect many, many times myself, you know, we are beings of light. We are co-creators in this realm. We were made to be co-creators here and to make big, beautiful things that are impressive and seemingly impossible, because that's why we have the brain power that we have, okay? And the creativity, and that's what, don't you people get it? And you guys are just like, we didn't do that. Blah, blah. What are you saying? What are you people saying? You guys don't even get it. You just go, oh, you just believe the mainstream narrative. No, I just don't believe bullshit. I'm not going to believe that people have, you know, are a bunch of bumbling idiots and that we've never been able to do anything, that we didn't build the civilizations that we're fucking living in right now. Like, that's literally basically what you guys are saying, that, oh, we're living in somebody else's civilization. We're just a bunch of freaking idiots that we just found it and took it over. Like we're a bunch of squatters here. And I'm sorry, but that's just not the case. I mean, you guys are just, it pisses me off. And, you know, and I, you know, whatever you guys want to look at, I don't care, but I don't like it. I can't abide. Thank you, Eric Paiva. Cheers. Thank you for the tip. And also, does somebody else give me a tip? Let me make sure I say thank you. Arlette. Thank you, Arlette, also, for the tip. Appreciate you. But seriously, come on. Come on. Are you a squatter? I'm not a squatter. Horses are strong. Yeah, and it's not even just horses that they used, Rose. They used ox. Like big steer, oxen. What do you guys know what an ox is? An ox is a cow. Well, not a cow, but a bull that works, a working bull or a working steer, right? That's what an ox is. It's when you put a yoke around its neck and strap it to some sort of pull, you know, harness so that it can pull heavy loads for you and pull your plow and pull everything. All right. So they used ox too, because their legs are shorter and stronger, and they're more of an expendable animal than a horse, because horses are smart and you can ride horses and train them, blah, 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 and they're used for transportation and stuff. So they weren't used as, you know, they were used for work, heavy work. They used big draft horses, but they also used, and mules. And, you know, just because you don't know how they did it doesn't mean it didn't happen, right? Okay? Let's just be real. And we're not going to pretend like there aren't, you know, there isn't evidence that giants were here. Like, people hear me talk like this and they go, oh, well, you don't believe in giants? Da, 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 da. Well, okay, I have not firsthand seen evidence of giants, but I have seen anecdotally the evidence online that there were giants that did exist on this plane at one time. And I am not saying that that did not happen. Now, was everybody a freaking giant? Was there a whole civilization of giants and titans that lived here before and that built all these great structures that we now live in because we piddly, puny, retarded little humans don't have the know-how or the fortitude to build something like that? So obviously it wasn't us. So it had to be somebody bigger, better, and stronger than us, right? Right? Okay, so Where's the evidence for all of these beings? Where's the evidence for their civilizations? Oh, that's right. There was this big, massive plasma apocalypse, and it melted all of their buildings down into the mountains we see today. That's right. Oh, let's just make up another freaking fantasy story to back up our other fantasy story. I wonder if their creator designed horses and humans to work together. Yes, Rose, absolutely they did. Because of the power of our mind, our bodies have gotten weaker and weaker due to technology, but we have horses to be our muscles. But I don't like the idea of horses being slaves, so it's a big catch-22 in my mind. Well, Rose, as someone who has worked with horses and grew up riding horses, I did grow up riding horses. I've been around horses most of my life. Horses love to have a purpose. It's like a dog. It's like when your dog wants to do something for you, like they're like, I'm here, I'm ready, I want to do. These animals were put on this plane to help humans. They were. I mean, look at the horse. Look at the way the horse is built. The back of the horse is long. It's perfect to put a saddle on and sit on comfortably and ride around. I mean, they were definitely made for us. I love you. Off I go to record. I love you too, Rose. Mules are angels. Technology definitely dumbed us down. Watching all kids all weekend and they can't go anywhere outside, blah, blah, blah. Their face is buried in their sound. They're said, yeah, horses are amazing and they love their jobs. Exactly. Austin knows because he's been around horses his whole life too, right? Horses love to have a purpose and a job and they love it. And in fact, you know, even like some of these race horses, now the horse racing industry is a horrible, abusive industry. And yes, bad things happen to these animals. But these horses that run, make no mistake about it, they want to freaking run. They want to. And they want to win. And they want to be in the winner's circle. And they want to have all the attention. And they want everybody to look at them. And they want to be like, yes, I'm the shit. I'm the shit. Trust me, they do. They love it. Oh, I have a caller. Thank you for calling. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen, what's up? This is Biz Woofer. How's it going?
Good. Hey, Biz Woofer. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Just another gorgeous day. It's been a beautiful fall in Sioux Falls, so that's not at all what it was like when I was growing up. So just thankful for that. It's like a 70 degrees here, so very rare. You know, when I was in high school, it was like we'd have snow by October 1st, and it was just like it was just a whole different world. So I don't know, I think it's crazy how it's gone from like that extreme to like just almost like night and day in like not even very much of a time span, you know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was just going to call in because I know you were talking about like critical thought, critical thinking and stuff, and yeah, man, I think it's like, you know, it's, you know, being part of just knowing something, like you said, like the earth is flat, or you know, I think a lot of people stop at a certain point, you know, and they understand something and they think that makes them, I don't know, then they think their job is done, you know. Mm-hmm. But like you're trying to get at, it's like being a critical thinker isn't like a one and done thing. It's not like you figure something out and then you just go on your merry way and all of a sudden you're just enlightened and everything's changed, you know. Mm-hmm. That's not really the way it works, you know. It's especially in a place like this, you know, you have to be a critical thinker just to realize that, you know, it's like waking up from a dream, right? It's like you have to wake up from the dream first to realize you're being, you know, you're in a system that's basically taking advantage of you. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it will take advantage of you if you let it. You know, it's going to, it wants to make us all its bitch. You know, it wants us all to be submissive to it, and it preys on our naivety. You know, that's why it's, you know, we have to be critical thinkers and question everything, because we have to be really aware of, like, what's going on around us, because if we're just, otherwise it's going to, take advantage of our subconscious, of our, anything that we let it take advantage of, and just to go off on what you were saying on the people that, because I mentioned it in Brian's interview, because I was talking to him about the people that were just obsessed with the past, and why that makes me so upset too, because it's like, it's like, I mean, I get people that are interested in this stuff. It is kind of fascinating, but at the end of the day, I mean, really, it doesn't do us any good. It doesn't do anyone really any good. It's like, we can go through the pages of history and look at all of the melted buildings and this stuff and that stuff, but at the end of the day, we really have no idea, and it doesn't really improve our situation in the here and now. And we have plenty of stuff on our plate right here and now, Like I was telling Brian, like I'd rather be focused on him and your community and all the great people there that I can actually reach out and talk to, and who I know are right, are real and a part of our daily experience. That means so much more than, just combing through, basically wasting time, And it's a great example, actually, because I'm glad you brought it up, because it's like, we we tend to think of ourselves as we're not normies, so we're not, we are the critical thinkers. But it just goes to show you that even in a lot of the truth community, we can become the same victims of groupthink and, kind of getting into that groupthink mentality of let's all just go into one direction the same way the normies do, whether it's with a lot of this Tartaria stuff or, whatever it is, where we're not really, we have our heads down, we have our faces down, and we're not up and paying attention to what's going on, and I think we have to have a certain level of awareness, and we have to maintain that awareness, and not let these rabbit holes, sidetrack us and get us just consumed with whatever the rabbit hole is about. We have to sort of stay focused, I think. So that's at least my perspective, my opinion. That's the direction I want to go in, because I don't want to be just like, combing through history. Let's leave the history up to the history classes. That's what the history classes are for. So
yeah,
I don't know. That's my take. I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts and anything else that you want to say.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just it's a distraction. And you know, it's keeping people from moving forward. If you're stuck looking at it's okay to look at the past and learn from your past, but if you're constantly focused on it, and not only constantly focused on it, but focused on false things about it, like they're just making up their own revisionist history. I mean, it's insane.
Well, you got all these channels. Yeah, you got all these channels with endless videos dedicated to this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they're just that's all they talk about is like all this different stuff. And it's like, again, okay, like, what's the point is my question. Like, at the end of the day, what's the point? It's kind of like, it's the same reason why I don't care about a lot of these historical figures, whether it's Copernicus, Isaac Newton, or whatever. It's like, okay, like, did they figure some things out, supposedly? Cool, but like, why are we elevating these people? It's almost like people elevate these people to like God status because they lack the capability to do that kind of thinking themselves. So they look to these people like there's some kind of idols or heroes or whatever, because they lack the capacity to go out and do their own original thinking and think for themselves and think in new directions and in new ways for themselves. So they sort of hold these other people up on a pedestal. And I almost feel like all this historical stuff, it's kind of the same thing. It's like it's for people that are so, they're not capable of creating anything new today and thinking up new things and new ideas and having new conversations. So they're going to have conversations about things that happened hundreds of years ago. It's like, again, to me, that just takes us in the wrong direction. I want to go in the here and now, the present, and moving forward. I'm not interested in going in reverse, you know?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Yes.
Hmm.
That's why in my
Yeah.
Flattoberfest stuff, I put manifest a reality that serves us, because that's what we need to be doing. Because,
Yeah.
all this
Isn't that
stuff.
what we're supposed to do? Yeah.
Yes. Yes, exactly. But how are you
Isn't
going
that
to
why
do
we're all
that?
here?
Yes. Yes. And I don't know how these people think they're going to do that if they're canceling out the abilities of their own kind. They're literally going around telling everybody that humans can't do shit.
Yeah,
Basically.
exactly. I mean, yeah. It's
right?
just another futile rabbit hole. You know, it doesn't produce anything that I think benefits people, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah, no, it's cool. And the reason I really am enjoying the work of Wood and Nichols and Ewar is because, they're really starting to connect the dots on why this thing has become so popular, why the algorithms don't censor it the way that they censor Flat Earth and other things. I mean, let's just be serious. It doesn't, right? Like, I get this stuff.
No.
Once I was looking at it on YouTube, I started to get all kinds of crap recommended to me. Tiny little channels with like 1,500 subs. Here, watch this about melted blah, blah, blah. And I was like, whoa, really?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating. That like channels like yours get stuck on like, a few hundred people in the chat rooms or whatever, and Brian's channel gets censored all the time. And then you look at a lot of these channels that talk about hidden history or things that happened in the past, and they continue to explode and they never get censored,
Mm-hmm.
So it's just.
That's what I was saying
interesting,
earlier, too, about these globe channels. Like when McToon comes over here and he tries to get me to do debates with him or get on my channel or get me to go on his channel. He's doing it because he wants to exploit me so that he can get views on his channel and get subs and get more money. And this is what they do. They make videos about us, and then they have their troll army attack us, and their channel grows and gets pushed by the algorithms on YouTube, and we get buried, and dipshits like Dave, not a Professor Dave, get millions of subs, while me here, 5 years later, I still don't even have 20,000. And it's cool. Like, I'm not here it's not a popularity contest for me. I didn't come here to be famous. I didn't come here for any of that crap. I just came here to talk about truth. But the point is that censorship shows you that they don't want people to know real truth, real things that keep people from living in fear and from falling for these tricks over and over and over again. So.
Yeah, exactly. And that just brings it back to like what is so frustrating about it too, because it just keeps us running in the same, we're treading the same paths over and over and over, and as long as we're doing that, they're happy. It doesn't matter what the path is, because we're not blazing any new trails. We're just retreading over and over the same old paths, and the powers that be understand that. That's why they're perfectly cool with it, whether it's the politics, everyone's consumed in the politics, they're fine with that. That serves them, or everyone's consumed with, what happened in Atlantis or Tartaria or thousands of years ago and all this stuff that may have not even happened, right? We don't even know, but that's what people are going to spend their time on. And as long as we're doing that, I don't see how we're not just feeding into the same sick system, because we're not addressing any of the problems that are very real and taking place right now, right in our current situation, which is what we should be focused on, That's where they don't want us focused on.
Yes, precisely.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just thought I'd call in and, talk about that, because it's so true. I'm really glad you brought it up, because it's like, I don't know how we make any progress if we're just going to be talking about the same old stuff and not having any new conversations about things that actually matter, or asking any real questions, So.
Precisely.
So, yeah, thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah, okay.
Cheers. Yeah, so of course, just like Brian Watts said in chat, is that you, Brian? Is that who said that? I should give you a wrench, dude. But yeah, Wooden Nichols had his channel taken down right after the release of episode 444 on Crow 777. Okay? Because his channel, the work that him and Iwa are doing are breaking down this Tartarian narrative that has kind of started to take over. They don't want that. Clearly, that tells me they don't want that narrative taken down. They want people to keep going down that rabbit hole, that pointless dead end hole where you go and you are a stupid, incapable bag of flesh. You can't do anything creative. You can't build anything of substance. Everybody has to do it for you. And you are just a shitty little squatter who has to go find it and dig it out from the dirt and then say you built it instead of being someone who actually builds and creates things yourself. And if you want to be that way, go ahead. You know, this is what I'm saying. You know, real people, real living men and women who know who they are and what they are and where they live and what they're capable of would never be in that state of mind. Never. They just wouldn't. You know, people have to be tricked into giving up their power and to being, you know, and to being convinced that they are incapable of doing anything of substance, of consequence. Oh, it's 11:11. It's 11:11. Yes. It's 11:11. I know it turned to 11:12, but I don't care. If I started at 11:11, it still counts. It still counts if you start at 11:11. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. More than we do. Visions manifest in mind. Manifest your reality. Infinite abundance. Oh my goodness. There's a bunch of chat on Twitch. You guys say anything good? I didn't block you on YouTube, G-Monk person. I think I see that name on YouTube. I didn't block you there. And if you did get blocked, it could have been from the moderator. I was just reading up on your little back and forth there in Twitch. I don't recall ever blocking you, but I can't say that a moderator didn't block you because I have a lot of moderators because everybody wants a freaking wrench. And then, you know, and then people get blocked for dumb, stupid shit. And then they go, oh, why did I get blocked? And then like, and then I try not to add more moderators. And then people get all bent because Karen doesn't give me a wrench, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, you can't win. You can't win. I've seriously considered just not having any moderators at all, but I can't do that. Hi, Grounded Extracts. Good to see you. And somebody else popped in that I wanted to say hi to. Benjamin Balderson. That's who it was. Hail, Ben Balderson. Good to see you in the chat. Joe Rogan is pushing Tartar. Well, there you go. Nuff said. Nuff said. Okay? Nuff said. Yeah, it's okay. You got Rob Cleveland fucker wrench. You know, everybody just gets all bent about the stupid wrench. I don't even care. The dude abides. Anyway, okay. So that's what was going on. So what else did I want to talk about? Let's close this. Oh yeah! You guys see this? Okay, so this is the latest picture. The Ring Nebula from the Hubble Space Telescope. Okay, and Mark Sargent shared it, and he puts it in the chat, and he says, anybody Anybody recognize this or see anything or notice anything? And then somebody else comments, I think it was Carly, says, oh, AE map projection. And I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see it. So, I thought I would bring it up, and I thought, well, let's just have a talk about this. Maybe we can pull it up in Photoshop and we can pull it up next to an AE map and let's see how close it is, because I personally I don't think it is so close. I don't think it is so close. Gleason's. Gleason map. Gleason map. Let's pull it up. Oh, do I not have, Oh. Okay, here we go. Let's have a look, shall we? First of all, before I put up the Photoshop, let's see how many people see it. I know it's not a real image. Tartarian is a red herring. Yes. I'm so glad that so many people of you are seeing it. And I feel like for the longest time, people, I didn't talk about it for a long time, and Tartaria was getting pretty popular for over the last couple of years. I just kind of, let them do their thing over there, and then I was just been over here doing my thing, right? Well, then, you start certain things, people, I don't want to get into it. You guys know, right? That it just started getting more and more out of hand, and then they had the little spin-off theories and stuff going on, and man, now it's just like, I have to say it. We got to say something, because they're starting to, and they get pissed off. People, and it gets very culty, and people get really pissed off if you don't agree with it or don't go along with it. I mean, before you start comparing it to an AE map, try looking for it on NASA's site. This is from NASA, isn't it? No. Astrophoto. Let's see. Here we go. This is NASA Hubble's Messier catalog. Messier 57, the Ring Nebula. This. Right? That's it. I don't see it. I mean, so here, I'll download this image, because this says Ring Nebula Full JPEG. Okay. So we'll download that. Save. Okay. Is this satisfactory? What's going on? Where's grounded extracts? Wait, Rob Cleveland, why are you staying that? Steve GMO. That's funny. Fucking funny. Excuse my language. Sorry, not sorry. I have a potty mouth. I'm working on it. I'm not as bad as I used to be, but I still drop the F-bomb quite a bit. Anyway. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, this is Dennis. How you doing?
Hi, Dennis. Good. How are you?
Pretty good. You caught my interest when you were talking about this Tartaria stupidity, and I just thought I'd call in to share. But something about research that I did previously. But I had one question. I haven't looked into this stuff because I could tell right away it was, dumb. And Americans in particular are notoriously ignorant about history, and that it's a right field for stupidities like this to gain traction. But I did have one question. Is one of the main elements of this Tartaria beliefs that there was, that there was a vast empire in Asia or at a remote period of antiquity or something like that? A large empire or kingdom?
Yeah. And it's like a large one world. I mean, that's basically what they say. Yeah, that it was a large worldwide civilization, benevolent, and they had advanced technology. Whatever.
Yeah, it seems like they're applying stuff that's like in modern times and applying it to the past when that was the opposite of what was going on. At any rate, I was looking into, because I follow the Septuagint dating, which basically, as opposed to the King James, which follows the Masoretic text of the Bible, which has the world right now at about, the Masoretic text at about 6,000 years, in other words, 4,000 years before Christ, where the Septuagint is approximately 1,500 years longer, having the creation of the world 5,500 years before Christ instead of just 4,000. There's variations between which authorities you look at, but they're close to that. All the different ones, they're approximately, they got the Septuagint at around 7,500 years old. Anyway, and that would have the flood at around 3,200 BC, as opposed to approximately 2,500 BC for the King James or Masoretic text. Anyway, I was interested in ancient history. I have been a long time, using the Bible and books like Josephus, Antiquities of the Jews. And anyway, I was specifically thinking of China and Egypt, two areas I got into, and I found the Manetho for Egypt. As I was, he's an ancient historian that wrote in Greek, an Egyptian historian around, I think, approximately 3rd century BC, shortly after Alexander the Great's time. And he had a dynasty of he wrote a book with all the dynasties of Egypt up to his time from the beginning. And anyway, what I noticed that Egyptologists and the modern Egyptologists, they got a pretty good idea of the dating around 3000 BC. It matches up with the Septuagint. But the point I wanted to make is the early parts of his list, it's got these different dynasties. They were not all in order. There were many, the earliest one, they were simultaneous. In other words, they were going in different parts of Egypt. They had different genealogies, different kings. There were real small territories side by side, and it was only later in time they merged into a great empire. They had at first they emerged like lower in southern Egypt or northern and southern, and consolidated those, and eventually at one point the northern and southern kingdoms merged into one. So that shows the same. I could go into the details about China, but the point is, when people went out from Babylon, it wasn't many people. I mean, they had there were the Ark, 8 people, and by Babylon was sometime later. I'm talking about the people that believe that, the traditional history. they didn't have these vast empires of like they do today, or even in the Roman Empire. Back at that time, it was the different families went out and they had these small areas that over centuries, then the empires gradually came. And this Tartaria stupidity, it's like, goes in the face of the evidence of all the histories. Whether you look at China or Egypt or in Europe, you'll find the same general tendency. They didn't go out from the flood and immediately establish something like the Roman Empire. That's once again, I would say that's retarded. It's flat earthers, I think, should follow not just evidence-based science. We should follow evidence-based history with documents and archaeology. That's follow the evidence. Anyway, yeah, that's what I noticed about China. I think I just remember that there was these dynasties that. Well, I think the earliest one was the Xia, and around shortly before 2000 BC. But there were around 2000 BC or thereabout. But there were 5 emperors. There was a period in their 2 ancient historical sources that there's others, but 2 main historical sources recount them. And then the 5 emperors, and then the 3 sovereigns. And the earliest of the 3 sovereigns was Fu Shi, and the earliest recorded person in Chinese history. I would just be interesting at some point, but these connect that up with the Bible. But I noticed, I'm just adding because it's interesting. There's the Hmong are a people in the mountains. They still exist today. They have a traditions, oral tradition of the origin of the history, and it's separate but parallel with the Han Chinese history. But their history remarkably matches the biblical history, and seeing that they come from Gomer, who was one of the 7 sons of Japheth in the Bible. And I visited Ethiopia one time, and I just remember there was a security guard of all people who was very knowledgeable at the Hilton in downtown Addis Ababa. And we got into and he was saying, he's a member of the Ethiopian church, as he has those beliefs, but similar to our biblical style traditional beliefs. But anyway, we were both interested in history. He said the Chinese, they're from Japheth. And I was like, wow, that was the first time I heard it. But I studied more, like this thing with the Hmong, and it was like they existed side by side with the Han were the ones that had the empires throughout history, and the Hmong, I think they had I don't want to go into too much detail about that, but their histories at the ancient point, they connect. But they started out small, and at any rate, yeah, the stuff about Tartaria, that's like you say very well, that's a waste of time, and it's a good point that you make that the way the censorship goes, it's almost as if somebody has a vested interest in keeping people ignorant and preventing. So it was like there's verses in Proverbs where it's like how they come to mind, like depart from the presence of a fool when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge, or depart, my son, from the teaching or the instruction that causeth thee to stray from the words of knowledge. So knowledge is not a bad thing, but it certainly needs to be actual fact and evidence based, not fantasy. That's delusion. Anyway, I guess I'll stop. You probably got other callers and other things to talk about, but I just wanted to put that out there about the history. But it was in both Egypt. I could have gone into more detail on both, on China and Egypt, but that you get the idea. I was interested in the chronology and eventually mapping every civilization and get a general idea of the world. But as I was doing it, I saw that people didn't start out with these vast empires. That became obvious in the course of the study. So, yep, that's all I got.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Dennis.
All right, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, less than 2 weeks now. All right.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. We'll
right.
see you.
Later. Yeah. T-minus 12 days. 12 days to Flattoberfest. 2 weeks from last Saturday. What's going on here? Didn't EUR turn around on a lot of Tartaria stuff? Yes. Yes, he did. And him and Wooden Nickels have been doing like podcasts about it, streams about it, right? And it was being published on the Wooden Nickels channel, which was consequently removed from YouTube yesterday after the episode was released on Crow 777 Radio. So yeah, that's what happened with that. But check, so if you guys want to, if anybody was following him and you're on Rockfin, his channel, has been put on Rockfin. Rose recommended him, and then she emailed me and she's like, recommend him to Rockfin. And I was like, hell yeah. So we recommended him to Rockfin, and they got on there. So now they have their, uncensored channel up on Rockfin, Flip Flop Radio. Go give them a follow. I just put a link in the Rockfin chat, and I will also put a link in the YouTube chat. And I have been emailing with Woody, and I'm going to do a stream with him. I don't know if I'm going to be able to work it out before Flattoberfest, but I would like to have him on so we could talk about this stuff, because obviously I'm interested in what he's got to say. Knives Out today. Never bought into Tartaria. Good for you. You know, and it's... Like I said, I know a lot of people say, oh, it's interesting to look at the pictures. The pictures are interesting, but what people are saying about it is it's very, very misleading. And I was saying that about the John Levi too, you know, and I'm not going to say he's a bad person or anything, but those videos they're wildly popular, and it's fine. It's probably because of all the pictures that he finds and stuff. But I mean, there's just so many things in the world that nobody can know everything. There's so many things that you don't know about. There's things that I don't know about that have been going on for decades and decades, hundreds of years. Nobody knows everything, and it's just now you have a whole group of people who are scouring the internet for things that they didn't know about or for new information, and then that's it. They find a picture and they're like, oh, look at this. Why don't we make up a whole story about this? What could this be? This couldn't be this. This couldn't be that, because people, you're running around jumping from picture to picture or site to or thing to thing without getting to the very bottom of the first thing that led you there, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like it's okay to go look and like re-examine these things about history, but you really gotta focus on one thing, one area, and solve the mystery of that thing. You can't just look at a whole group of pictures and then make blatant statements about the entire freaking plane and what happened. Yeah. Yeah, no, the name's awesome, right? Flip Flop Radio. Brian Stavely says, anyone in Cali, I am hosting a Mandela Effect meetup at Huntington Beach, November 16th. Email me if you want to come, ricefoot@gmail.com. There you go. Yeah. Emerald Triangle. Just seems like many true things coming to the mass consciousness are being wrapped up in a misleading narrative. Exactly. Like there are good things to explore from all that. Like pretty much Well, I'll just say this, like the free energy thing, the energy thing is a huge thing that they talk about, but they don't have any evidence of these buildings extracting energy from the ether. Nobody's been able to replicate it, but we do know that scientifically, with what physics that we know about today, that it is possible, right? Because Tesla showed us that, right? And some other very famous scientists from back in the day, you know, all these people that studied magnetism and electricity, and they figured out, you know, a lot of how this stuff works. So, and we also know that that there's been a big struggle with power as far as the energy goes, like the big oil companies squashing out the little guys who make the cars that run on hydrogen. You know, there used to be airships all over the place. Airships would dock at the Empire State Building, but now there's no more airships. You just see the Goodyear blimp over professional sports games, right? Like it's a novelty now. They've made it like a joke novelty. So, you know, there is information to be gleaned. There is, you know, something that there are things that have been hidden that we do need to know. But to completely delete the human contribution to where things were to what they are today, to completely delete that and deny what we have built, what the civilizations that we have built over time. I mean, that is, to me, it makes absolute zero sense. Absolute zero sense. Zero. And what if you find out if it's true? Well, then you're a big idiot. You know, they want people thinking that they can't do anything. They want people thinking that they have no ability, no power, no creativity. You know, I mean, think about the you know, and I used to say this years ago, think about it when you were little and you were young. Do you guys remember this? This is why I started my Path to Flat Earth video like this. Do you remember when you were young? Okay? And you were learning everything about the world around you, and everything was like, whoa, this is so cool, right? It is. And then you start, you know, and then you go to school and you sit behind your desk and you get yelled at and blah, 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 blah. And then learning becomes like a fucking nightmare. They purposefully make learning a nightmare. The school system, the public school system, was meant to crush your soul and snuff out the divine spark that is inside you, that fire inside you, that like finding things that light you up and make you go, oh, that's cool, I love that. You know, that's what that was for. And I forget where I was going with that, but you know, that's what they want. Oh, I know. That's what they want, though. They want you to not have that divine spark inside you. They want you to not have that spark of curiosity and creativity and the want and the drive to build something, to create something, to contribute, you know, to make this world a better place. No, they don't want that. They want you miserable. They want you mining their gold. They want you typing in their data. They want you snitching each other out. You know, they want you hating yourself. And all you people, that's what you're doing. You're contributing to that. And you think, and here's the brilliant part of their psyop on you. You all think that you are going around enlightening people by telling them this bullshit. You guys think that you're leading people to some great unknown truth. These people are gonna wake up and know the truth of where we live by thinking that somebody else did everything else. All the giants did everything else. Somebody else built that. We got zapped by some giant plasma apocalypse. I mean, just think about it. Think about it. That's the brilliance of it. And it's so frustrating, you know, and then people will think, oh, and then they're coming back and starting to troll us and tell us that we're going back to the globe, that we can't let go of the mainstream narrative. Yeah, get bent with that bullshit. Get bent. Because that is not what it's about. Okay? You can't say that everything is a lie. Because we discuss this too. Everybody discusses this. The truths have been interwoven so deeply entrenched with lies that now it is extremely hard to pull them apart, to separate the truth from the lies. Okay? Everything is woven together deeply, and for decades they have been weaving this web of lies. And the truth can't ever go away. The truth doesn't disappear. It's there, but it has been covered and tangled up in a sea of freaking lies. And our job is to try to dig them out. Go find those truths and dig them out. But, along the way, this is a spiritual war, a psychological war. So along the way, some people are going to go down the wrong path. They're going to pick up the wrong breadcrumbs, and they're going to get sucked into the wrong thing. And then they too themselves are deceived. And now once again, you are also deceiving others. And you don't even know it. And you don't even know it. Dr. Law, it's so good to hear from you. How are you? Dr. Law? Dr. Law, did you hang up? I was just about to pick up your call. Brian Stavey, bro, I'm a Glober. Get out of here, Dr. Law. Why do you and Brian never talk about all the lies about World War I and World War II and the supposed Hollow event? Well, because when you talk about the Holocaust and the lies around that, that's a good way to get censored. But everybody already knows that. Like, you're bringing it up, so you obviously know the lies. We all know the lies. I mean, I guess we could have like a talk about it, but Rockfin, it's literally written into the terms of service on Rockfin that you're not supposed to talk about the Holocaust and say that it didn't exist. So I'm not going to do that. And I'm okay with that. I read the terms of service before I agreed, and I agreed with that because I don't feel the need to talk about that. It's already been talked about. We already know history is a set of lies agreed upon. And I just don't care. And plus, I also think it promotes bigotry towards Jewish people that is, unnecessary. Like, I grew up with knowing some Jewish people who are really freaking cool and sweet, and I don't think that they're all money-grubbing grabblers trying to come after us and kill us all. That's just not the case, It's just like everything else. They were a scapegoat. They were infiltrated, just like, the Freemason thing and every other organization or group. It gets infiltrated, right? And then as you get to the higher levels, well, then that's where the shady stuff is going on. The people at the real high levels of these things, Oh, the Dr. Law is back. Okay. Hi, Dr. Law.
Hello, Queen Bee.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right.
Good. I just want to get back to Flattoberfest.
All right.
Yeah. Since you let the cat out the bag, I told you I was one step ahead of you.
Yes.
But hey, I've got a few others. I'm trying to, help as many people as we can. I'm not going to use the word I. It's we. We are trying to help the people who need the help in our community.
Absolutely.
And we can only do it if we all pitch in and help ourselves. We'll be cooking all weekend long, and all the proceeds, we'll give out to the community and try to help as many people as we can. Okay, it's this one for all and all for one. So, we can't do it without your help. Okay, people in chats and whoever's coming to Flattoberfest, we cannot do it without your help. So just come out there, support us, and we're going to support you guys. That's what it's all about. We just pass it on. I just cannot wait until then.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Absolutely. And I think there's going to be a lot of people there, so it's going to be a great time. I want to meet new and old people, out there and have the greatest time of my life. This will be my birthday celebration, which I don't do anymore. Only at Flattoberfest.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to call in tomorrow on my birthday to Strange World. I might try to Skype in a special guest. I'm not sure yet if he'll answer.
All right.
All right. So, but anyway, everyone in chat, just come out and support us all, and we're gonna have a great time. Okay, I just cannot wait. I'm, racking my brains out, trying to get all the things together and put everything together for everyone. Okay.
All right.
And again, thanks. Shout out to you, Queen Bee, for hosting this and putting it up for all of us to enjoy ourselves. Because you do that, you do it all for us, and we're gonna do it all for you. Okay, we got each other's backs, no matter what, and let's move on from here. Okay.
Yeah, sounds great. Sounds great to me.
All right. Awesome. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow night.
All right. Thanks, Law. Law. Dr. Law 0206. He's the best. The best. Be late there Thursday. Awesome. Anyone can cover the wars. Yeah. I don't want to lose my channel over talking about that crap. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. I mean, it's just like what we were talking about when Bizwoofer called. Like, we can sit here and we can keep going over the past. We can keep dredging it up. But what is it going to do for us? Is it going to help move us forward? No. I mean, is it going to move us forward for everybody to go around and start saying Hitler was a good guy? Is it? I mean, I don't think so. I don't really want to mix that into anything that I say to just muddy the waters even more. Like, I don't want to have to explain that. If somebody wants to know the truth about these things, the information is out there and they can go get it. I remember being told that when I was at a job fair and wanted to explore the ocean. They said everything's already been discovered. Exactly. Why would you ever, that's what they tell you, because they don't want you learning things or, having any sort of ambition, They kill your ambition. They just destroy it. And then they give you this bullshit line, oh, you could be anything you want to be when you grow up. You could even be the president. No, you can't be the president. Okay? And I told my children this. You will never be president of the United States because you aren't in the club. I'm not in the club. I was not born in the club. You were not born in the club. You will never be the president of the United States. I mean, this is the truth. But no, they feed everybody a line of BS from the very beginning. Complete BS. What about freedom of speech? There's no such thing of freedom of speech except for when you're in your own house. This is what I have come to learn. I don't have freedom of speech except for here, in my own home, on my own property. That's where I have my free speech. I don't have free speech anywhere else. Even the government that says in the Constitution that you're supposed to have free speech, right? But then you have to go get a permit and go to a free speech zone. I mean, that's really what the free speech is about, right? It's about being able to vocalize your objection to actions by a tyrannical government. Okay, that's what free speech is to vocalize your objections to things that the government may or may not be doing that are against the Constitution and that violate your rights and violate your free will. That's what freedom of speech is. We don't have it. We don't have it. The only place you have free speech is in your house. making Jewish into a people and saying we cannot criticize that as a... Yes, exactly. You know, they gave them like the get out of jail free card for anything that they did after that. But you know, it's like, yeah. Here's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like saying Hitler was a good guy to me is like, you might as well, it's the same that when people run around and say Trump is a good guy. No, he's not. These people are not good people. None of these politicians are good people. Nobody who wants to be in power and control countries and control millions of people and play these, you know, globalist war games are not good people. They're not. Hitler was a player on the stage just like everybody else. He played a role and he set certain things into motion. You know, and actually, when we were driving back from Indiana, we started talking about, I found something that talked about the swastika, right? And then I had been wondering about this last week. I was like, why did Hitler start using the swastika? Why? Why did that happen, right? Well, it says that Hitler started using it because it was a symbol of peace. And he wanted to convey that to the German people. He wanted to use a symbol of peace, right? Well, that is an inversion. He inverted the swastika. And it was the beginning of the inversion. And I think that it also contributes to the lie about where we live. And I'll tell you how. What is the swastika symbol? What does that symbolize? It is literally an ancient symbol, meaning, you know, peace and harmony and all that stuff. But it is literally the motion that the Big Dipper makes going around the North Star throughout the seasons. And when you have you seen that meme? Let me see if I can just find it here. Here we go. Okay, this is how easy it is to find. Okay, so this, right? The Big Dipper, the North Star, and where it is in relation to the North Star, that tells you what season you're in. That's an indicator. And all four of them together on a diagram make the swastika. Okay? So he stole that symbol, inverted it by using it as a symbol on his army, right? On his military and for his movement, his peaceful movement, right? And let's not act like they didn't go to rip people out of their homes. Like, we all know that the number might have been conflated, but you know, let's not act like they didn't go around doing shitty things. And they inverted it. And then they made it so the swastika cannot be used. Like, it's illegal to use the swastika. It's illegal to display the swastika. It's illegal to have a tattoo of the swastika in some places. They basically canceled out the swastika. Why? Now nobody can look at that and, you know, making it, basically trying to take it out of consciousness so nobody can look at that symbol and be like, oh, what does it mean? What does that symbol mean? Oh, well, it means it's from this. Look at this. It tells you about our realm and the seasons of our realm. And it also proves that the sky, you know, goes in a pattern that repeats all the time, and that the earth is stationary and not traveling through space, because we see this consistently year after year after year. So it was the beginning of the inversion. And then what happened right after that, right? Right after the World War II, then after that, it became what? What? Show of hands. Who? The space race, right? The space race. Then we started going through the space race with the Russians. Oh, remember that? And then right when they started, what was it? When did they do the first satellite? When they sent Sputnik up in the air, right? And then they did the fake moon landing. So it was like, it's almost like Hitler co-opting the swastika was like the tip-off to that. It was like the beginning. Like, we're going to seal this globe, this globalist image. We're going to seal the globe into the consciousness of everybody forever. Like, this is it. This is the beginning, right? And I feel like I just sort of, when I was reading this and I thought about it, it's like, and you know, you don't put all these together when you look at them all separately or as they happen over time, because things are so spread out. But when you look at it, you know, back, like hindsight's 2020, and you see it all condensed, then you can see that it's like the beginning of an inversion. It's the beginning of the deception. It's the beginning of wiping the truth about the realm from the consciousness of our minds. Well, I don't know if it's the very beginning, but it's a monumental step in doing so. Oh, thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Aaron, David.
Hi.
I've got two things. One, quick question to you on the thing that they call Tatari, our history, if you will. So, would you agree that there are buildings and structures all over the world that the retarded people of today are incapable of building?
Wait, say that again?
There are structures all across the realm that today's people, at least the common folk, us, don't have any idea how they were built. So the ability to build those buildings has left because we've proceeded into retardedville. Okay?
Okay.
So would you also agree that the construction of those cathedrals, which are capable by human beings, you know, if you really look into it, with great, tremendous effort, don't fit with our historical timeline? 1800s, Wild West, everything else. Right?
What do you mean with they don't fit with our historical timeline?
Like we're told in the 1800s, you know, people were in horse and buggies going across the country, discovering, you know, the west side of America, and you know there was no electricity and there was nothing. Basically, our taught history doesn't line up with amazing structures that we see from the past. I'm not making any claims. I'm just saying it doesn't match, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
well,
why wouldn't
wait,
it?
If we look at our history, I was taught in school that the settlers got in their horse and buggies and went across the country. And by the time they got across the country, they were different people because they had babies and died along the way. And then when they got there, they built wood structures and had these houses. But somehow there's all of these crazy structures which seem to have come maybe from a reset before. I'm not making any claims. All I'm saying is the structures that we see, whoever built them, doesn't fit the timeline that we're taught in school.
But which ones? Which structures? The cathedrals in France?
Well, lots of, some of the, I mean, look at the cathedrals. I mean, just take Salt Lake City, the big church they have there.
The Mormon one?
We're told that the Mormons showed up there. They had nothing, no infrastructure or anything, but they built this crazy church. Right? Something is not right. And I'm not claiming I have any idea what it is. I'm just saying it doesn't match up. So to say, you know, yes, it could be built. Sure, yes, it could be built. But why? How? That doesn't match our timeline at all. That's all I want to say about that. Just throwing it out there just to keep in mind, because there is a medium, if you will, not a happy medium, you know, not everything is fake, not everything is real, not everything is everything. I mean, there is some stuff that doesn't make any sense at all. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
All right. So the next thing is totally different topic. I need to not steal, but use some people that are in chat that would like to help test a test flight of the app. I need to get a dozen or 24 testers, and I'm going to pop a Zoom link in the chat while you're listening to Karen's show. You don't have to turn off her show. Anybody that wants to jump on, and then I'll give you instructions on how to install Test Flight and how to put on the new app, and then we could test the new calling features and whatnot. So anybody that wants to do that, you have to have an iOS device that you don't have to, even if you don't have the app, it doesn't matter, but you should. iPad or iOS, and that has a little bit of time, like as soon as I put the link out there, jump on this call and we can have some fun.
All right.
Is that cool? All right. I will pop the link in the chat, and then anybody just jump on. We'll probably be on for a little while. If the Zoom link is dead by the time you click it, it's just because we're done. We're done. But if anybody wants to help, I would appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. You ready for Flattoberfest?
So, yeah. Oh, I'm very excited. I can't wait. It's actually, Paige is very excited. It's gonna be great. Everyone's gonna have a good time. There will be no drama unless Roland Reddy shows up.
Well, I make no promises.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's such a great bonding event. So I will be there.
Awesome.
All right, here comes the link in the chat for anybody that wants to play. Thanks.
Alrighty, cool.
Thanks, bye.
All right. Yeah, the Mormon Temple. Oh, it's closed for renovation right now. I don't know. This to me looks the same. If it was it says they first marked the ground in 1847. But they didn't break ground till 1853. I know I'm looking at Sheeplepedia. And it says they used oxen to transport the stone. The walls were quartz monzonite, which has the appearance of granite, from Little Cottonwood Canyon, 20 miles or 32 kilometers southeast of the temple site. Oxen transported the quarried rock initially, but as the Transcontinental Railroad neared completion in 1869, the remaining stones were carried by rail at a much faster rate. The building was finished and dedicated on the 6th day of April, 1893, 40 years from commencement to finish. So 40 years, I mean, that's a good amount of time. That's a long time to be building a building like this. April 6th to April 6th. Making the total cost of the building and grounds $3,469,118. Woo, that's a deal. That's a deal by today's standards. And you know what's funny is, like, I always look at the cost of these things, and I go to try to find an inflation calculator to find out what that is in today's dollars, and you can't find any inflation calculators that will calculate any cost before 1913. Did you guys know that? Because that's when the Federal Reserve goes into place, and all the money begins to be printed by that is taken over. Control is taken over by the Federal Reserve, and so that's the earliest you can go to inflation. If you go before that, though, it might be ridiculous. I mean, ridiculous. Huge waste, in my opinion. Do more research. The church is nothing. Like, I don't waste my time on this crap. I don't care. I just don't care. Like, these buildings they're not impossible to be made. I don't know what the purpose is for, well, I do know. I have my theories on what the purpose is for it, but I'm like, to go and sit here and just go on and on about, boring. No interest. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, by the way, I have some cool Flat Earth shirt designs in my store. If you guys want a cool Flat Earth shirt, these are $22 in my store. If you go in my description, there's a link, streamlabs.com/Karen_B_FE/merch. And it'll take you to the link. Some cool, like, vintage looking Flat Earth designs there. $22. And then this one is also, it's like a vintage label, alcohol label, Flat Earth, authentic, really cool. You can get coffee cups, Dose of Reality, Unveiling This Realm shirts, and so on and so forth. You can use the price of gold to compare value over time, yeah. Can you hear a lie? Sometimes it's tricky, but sometimes possible. Yeah. Yeah, body language is the big tell. And I was explaining this to Ted about how moms always know when their children are lying. It's because that face, been looking at that face since the day you came here. And every little nuance, every little twitch, every little movement that face makes, I have been learning it for years, right? Each one. So when my children come to me and I ask them a question and they lie, I can tell because they all have some sort of tell on them facially. Like, I can tell. They and I don't tell them what it, obviously I don't tell them, but that's how I know. My oldest son, it used to drive him crazy. He'd be like, "How do you know?" And I'm like, "I know. Mothers know everything." And I was giving Ted instructions. I'm like, okay. And I was telling him what their tells were so that he would know when they lie. Will the That's Retarded hoodie be available? No, well, I don't sell those. That's Steph's. Oh, by the way, go to the strong.family if you want those. I'm going to give Steph a plug because he gives me plugs all the time. So Steph, the guitarist from the Deftones, his website is thestrong.family, and you can go here, and this is where you get the Flat Earther hoodie, the Strong hoodie. Why does this say Ultra Limited Edition? Wonder what he changed about it. That's Retarded hoodie. Then he's got shirts. Remember, he didn't have shirts before. He just had hoodies, but now he's also got shirts and backpacks. Flat Earther backpack. Isn't that sick? And he's also got fanny packs. So you can get a Flat Earther fanny pack. Socks. That's Retarded, the Strong. And the socks. And then coffee cups, a Flat Earther coffee mug. Right? And phone cases. You can get a phone case that says Flat Earther. He's got all kinds of stuff there. So go to the strong.family and you'll find all that cool shit. Yeah. And then also, you guys, Steph, I sent Steph a bunch of t-shirts last week, and he was sporting an Unveiling This Realm shirt on the Dr. Green Thumb podcast, which is the podcast that he co-hosts, I think, a couple days a week with Be Real from Cypress Hill. I don't know if you guys know that Be Real has a channel. I mean, they don't talk about a lot of, they don't talk about too much conspiratorial stuff, but once in a while, Steph is on there. Well, he's on there every Friday. I think he started doing it Wednesday and Friday. But if you look, let's see if I can find a good shot. Because it's kind of hard to see because he's sitting... sitting down, but he was sporting the Unveiling This Realm shirt that I made for him. Check it out. The foil, I don't know if you there, right there, see? Check it out. You see that toroid? That's fire. And then, let's see. See, he's sporting it. Look, I love it. This is my favorite.
Word, it's Friday. We're about to get into the mix. So, right after the show, boom. Squeeze, have a great week.
Shout to the Insane Asylum. We'll be dropping.
Thank you for the shirt. David Weiss, everybody.
Off Dr. Green Thumb's LAX.
Here, I'm going to play Steph
Tone.
Yo, shout out to Mark Sargent, Karen B, Thank you for the shirt. David Weiss, everybody, everything, FE. Shout out to you, Cali Blaze. He's on.
Everybody, everything, FE. He always represents Flat Earth on the podcast. Shout out to Steph Tone. Walking the walk, not just talking the talk. I love it. I love it. Let's see. So anyway, yeah, I thought that was super cool. And he gives us a shout out like every week. Like every week. And he shouted out Flattoberfest. Oh, let me see if I can find out where he did that. Where did I say he did that at, Ted? Was it like 208? I can't remember now. It was wherever they were talking about Flattober or Oktoberfest. So I don't know if I can find it. I should have done this beforehand. But anyway, he did. He shouted out Flattoberfest over there on the podcast. So that's what's up. He's the bomb. He's the bomb. Oh, we have a caller. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, good morning, Miss Karen. How are you on this wonderful day?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Well, I'm doing great, but I have to call, and I hate to spoil, the good news going across the plain, but there's craziness going on over there with, that evil Hitler Putin guy. You've heard of him, right?
Who?
Hitler Putin.
Oh.
Putin. He's the new Hitler, right?
Oh, right. Yes. Yes, of course.
All the bad things he's doing to those nice, good people over there in the Ukraine. Evil, bad Hitler Putin.
Yes, precisely.
But our government has had to come out and admit that they've been making some shit up about Hitler Putin.
The government
they've been telling us. Yeah, our government has been making up stuff about evil, bad Hitler Putin.
Oh, really? Shocking.
And I know, because they've been telling everybody that he's going to use nuclear bombs, and we all need to be really scared. He's going to use nuclear bombs and bomb stuff, and then Ukraine even said that America needs to be first in strategically attacking evil, bad Hitler Putin with nuclear bombs, just so he knows he shouldn't use nuclear bombs.
God. Okay.
But they finally came out and admitted, because I guess they got questioned so much. Where are you getting this intelligence from? Well, we really don't have any intelligence, but we think he's going to. Remember, he's evil bad.
Oh, boy.
So I find it funny that the theater they're giving us is so bad. I think that's another reason. I think that has to be part of the reason there's a lot more people starting to open their eyes up to what's really going on and start asking questions. And, if we as the people we are just have a little bit of knowledge and can present true facts to people without, giving them the water hose and just start throwing up everything on them, I'm finding, at least in the communication I'm having with people, that seems to be working a whole lot better. It makes them really start questioning things and looking into things.
Yeah. That's great.
Especially with the shape of the earth thing. And
Yeah.
just to hear the rebuttals I get from some people, it's almost comical just to sit back and go, oh, okay. Well, explain to me how my son flew from Houston to Hawaii and had a level at cruising altitude on the plane, and it stayed flat at cruising altitude for hours. Can you explain that to me? They pulled out the gravity. You know how that is. But you got to understand gravity.
Of course.
Oh.
Yes.
Can you explain gravity to me? Well, and then they're like, oh, what, are you stupid? Well, no, I'd like you to explain gravity to me. And then, of course, they drop something, and they do other things, and they talk about rate of fall. And I'm like, that is fantastic. You've described to me the effects of it, but you haven't explained to me how it does what it does.
Right.
Well, you want a calculator to go with your math?
Yeah. Yeah. So what else is going on, JM?
Just watching this place go crazier. And I am convinced that I really do believe that science has become nothing but a religion now. Because it's not science anymore. It's fucking pseudoscience that the quote-unquote normal, educated people use. If you want to see true science, I find more true science with our type of people. Hey, we're thinking, what do we have? What are the facts? What are our theories? And we will say what our theories are. Here's the test we've performed to prove our theory. Take a look at it, perform your own test, and let's get back together and see if we match up on the same page, which is fucking how science is supposed to work. Am I right or wrong in that interpretation of science, Karen?
I don't know. I'll be honest, I kind of zoned out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What did you say?
I was talking about science.
Right.
You know, the wonderful religion of science.
Yeah. Oh, it is a religion for sure.
And how
everything's a religion. You don't need proof for shit anymore. Tartaria is a religion too, if you ask me. You just believe it. All you have to do is believe it and it's true.
The power of believing. Just, I mean, we've gotten to the point where everything has become pseudoscience, and that's, like I said, I find more true science with groups of people like us, where people perform legitimate experiments, put legitimate theories on the table, give the evidence they've shown to back their theory up, and ask people to, you know, do their own experiments to validate what they've come up with or dispute what they've come up with, which is true science, correct?
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the quote-unquote normies, they don't seem to like to use real science. And I've also noticed something too, is the more I look at stuff that's real seems to be able to be broken down to stupid simple at the end of the day. Am I making sense where I'm going? Where you can have a complex piece of machinery like a cell phone, a modern day automobile combustion engine, you know, that's going on, but even today with as complex as the modern day combustion engine is, you can still break it down to the simple and go, it takes fuel, which is gasoline, and takes air, mixes it together, and provides a spark, which causes combustion, which causes a piston to move. You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
You can break it down to the simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yet with all the crap we get from their pseudoscience, they give you a big, long, drawn-out, you know, notebook or a friggin' chalkboard with ridiculous pseudoscience math on there and going, well, if you understood this complex formula, you'd understand how it works.
Right. Right, that's what they do. They make everything overly difficult so people just check out and they don't bother trying to actually figure stuff out.
I find it easier to actually debate people instead of arguing with them. Just let them present their wonderful pseudoscience and then go back and present simple science and facts and go, well, this. Just like with my son flying to Hawaii with the level. And I let them spew out all their stuff, and I just go, with a level tells me if we are on a level plane. Your gravity does not make the fact of traveling from Houston to Hawaii that if we're on a curved surface, a ball, there would be drop. That level would have had to have moved going down while they're in level flight.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how big the ball is, there will always be a point where that ball starts to curve. Always. There never is a true level plane on that ball, ever. Yet, here on Earth, we can find level planes everywhere.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure. The Earth definitely presents itself as level and motionless.
And then I love at the end, they always come up with, when they realize that they have no real rebuttal to what you're doing, and to go, what does it matter? What does the shape of this place matter? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello? I mean, it gives you so much more connection to realize there's something much greater here than we've been fucking told.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is the foundation upon which all other lies are laid, because it disconnects you immediately from the truth, from your place in the universe, from the Creator, whether you believe it or not. Even though people say, oh, but I believe in God. Well, no. It still disconnects you because you're still on the wrong frequency, you know, the wrong frequency. You're not thinking in the right terms. You haven't aligned yourself in the right line of thought. You know, you're never gonna, I don't believe anybody can ever figure out anything fully as long as they believe that they live on a globe. Never gonna happen. You're always gonna miss something, and it's gonna be something pretty significant.
I bring this up to you. Last time I had it was a couple of weeks ago. I had an argument with my brother-in-law and his son, and we were going over, because I told my brother-in-law, because he's really getting into the Bible now and into that stuff, and I looked at him and I just said, fuck it, and said, you know, Ryan, that book that you're getting into and studying, you know that's a flat earth book, don't you? What? So go to Genesis. First fucking chapter. It tells you. Then I brought up von Braun with his, I said, well, why would the guy that made the space program rockets put this scripture on his tombstone that talks about the firmament showing the Creator's handiwork? Can you explain that to me? Well, scientists love to put biblical stuff on their things. Really? That's your answer? Hello, the firmament, you can't go through it. You understand how that works, right? Pressurized gas? Then, of course, well, gravity holds the gas in. Really? Show me any experiment that you can do where you can have fucking pressurized gas without a container. It's physically fucking impossible. Then on top of it, put a fucking vacuum next to that pressurized gas and have the pressurized gas be its own container. That is physically impossible. That's not how science works.
Nope. It's not how gas works. It's not how physics works. It's not how reality works.
But we all must be crazy, you know, because we get into this flat earth stuff and we dare have a question about, excuse me, I'm seeing what they're telling me, yet as they're telling me this, I'm looking at what they're doing, and what they're doing is the exact opposite of what the fuck they are telling us. Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Your words mean zero if your actions do not back up the words that come out of your fucking mouth.
That's true.
As the government puts all these regulations and rules on us, well, don't do this and don't do that, and you can't have any money exchanging if you're doing business with somebody else and all this other nonsense. Yet every time I look around, that's exactly what the fuck is going on in government with the corporations, with the quote-unquote elected people. Wait a minute. Why do all these elected people seem to have nice, wonderful, beautiful, multiple homes that they have, that they can go to anytime they want to? I don't know about you, Karen. How many multiple homes do you have that are cared for with servants? You and Ted. I mean, you guys must have at least 5 or 6.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah. We got our house on the beach. Right. House in the mountains. Wouldn't that be nice?
You know, because I've heard, your events you're putting on, Karen. We clearly know you're making millions of dollars with these events. We understand that. We've got your co-host there, Mr. Mark Sargent. He's secretly hoarding all the pinball machines, driving the prices up on those things.
Right. Right. Oh, my God.
I'm just saying, I hope you do know that I'm just having a joke with you guys on that one. I truly do not believe you guys are shills. And although I still suspect that Mark Sargent guy, though, he's got that hat.
Yes. The hat. The Freemason hat. The 32nd degree hat that belonged to his grandfather. Yeah.
Yep, see, I knew it. He is hoarding up all the pinball machines. He's probably got 3 mansions full of those things, Karen.
I'm sure he does. He says he lives
That's how
on
he got
Whidbey
so
Island,
good.
but maybe it's actually a private island full of pinball machines.
Oh, there's a thought. I will find out how to get to this private island. Well, as always, Karen, thank you very much. Much love. We greatly appreciate the work you guys do. And, of course, hello to everybody in the chat. And, of course, that Nana killer, Mr. Stavely, running around. He's heading to California again. Probably going to kill 4 or 5 nanas on the way there at least.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sure.
And then Ted, how's his camel COVID doing? Is he okay?
Oh, yeah, he's doing okay. He's doing pretty good now, I think. Yeah.
If you just get him on a good regimented vaccine schedule, because, we've looked at the science. You understand that, right, Karen?
Oh, yes.
You have to trust the science.
Yes. Yes, I hear you.
And myocarditis is normal. You realize that's been going on since what? What month is it? Since at least January this year?
I think so. Yeah. Maybe more?
Yeah. So we've got a clear history here. That's just normal, Karen. That's just normal.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah.
And don't forget to get your monkeypox too, because you got to watch out for those monkeys. They're running rampant everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. All right.
And Brian, going to California, I hear there's a bad outbreak of monkeypox in California.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Thank you, Karen.
All right.
Much love as always.
Thanks, JM. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Trigger. Is Mark a pinball wizard? Mark, that's how Mark, he was like a championship pinball player, I thought. But didn't he win a championship or something? There's a picture of him from a newspaper. Oh my gosh. Mark has a Wikipedia page. Holy shit. How long has this been here? Or did I not know about this already? Look at this, you guys. We'll go back to the Photoshop thing if you want. I don't think that looks like the AE map, you guys. I just don't see it. It's a suggestion. It's like a tiny suggestion of it, but when you really look at it, no, it's not the AE map. Anyway, oh, that's not what I meant to do. Not that one. All right, so Mark Sargent, Flat Earth proponent. Born July 20th, 1969. That's not Mark's birthday. That's not Mark's birthday. Mark was born April 24th? He's a Taurus, I know that, but that's the wrong birthday. An American conspiracy theorist who is one of the leading proponents of and recruiters for the flat earth conspiracy theory in the United States. According to critics, his YouTube videos have greatly accelerated the popularization of the modern flat earth belief. One without scientific merit. He worked in information technology in Colorado, blah, 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 Whidbey Island. Yeah, it's short. That's hilarious. Look at this picture, too, that they... He looks all surprised. That's hilarious. Anyway. I was wondering if I could find that old newspaper picture. He's sent it to me before. I don't know if you're here, Mark. He's usually not here because it's a little early for him on the West Coast. But, anyway. There's a picture of him, like, where he's... he's, like, sitting there and he's, like, by a pinball machine or something. I don't know. But he did used to play. Daryl Davis, you think the tables at the shrine we're going to use for vendors are 6-foot tables or bigger? Okay. Well, here's the thing. There's very limited tables at the Shrine Club. They do have some tables. They've got like 5. I think they're 6-foot tables. They also have a lot of round tables. So you might just have like one of those round tables. They're like dinner tables. But I tell people to bring their table. Or if you want to use a table that's already there, you better get there early and grab one. Actually, we're going to use some of the tables because Nathan needs a table to set up all the gear on, the sound gear and stuff. I don't know how you're going to bring one across the country, though. July 20th, 1969 was Apollo 11 launch. Oh, okay. I thought that date looked familiar and I didn't put it together, but that's funny. That's the date of the fake moon landing, right, Sue? That's so funny. They put his birthday as the date of the moon landing. All good decisions start with a foundation on truth. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Okay, so back to this Photoshop thing. What do you guys think? Do you see the... I don't see it. Mark says he sees the AE map, and I'm like, I don't see it. And he says, close enough for me. And I replied, and I said, well, that's why people give you shit. I mean, you can't just willy-nilly just throw shit around and be like, oh, yeah, this is that. No, it's not. I mean, you know, this looks like about as close to the AE map as the freaking dumb BS moon map that dude made up. You know, this looks absolutely nothing like it. But, you know, whatever. It's all good. So let me pull up. This is the one from NASA. Okay, so we can mess with the layer, with the adjustments on this one that is from NASA. Okay, let's see if we can pull that out of this one, because this, it does look a little different. Let's see. Darker there, lighter here, this way. No. No. I don't see it. I don't see it. Anyway. It's Photoshop puke. It's what it is. So that's pretty much where I stand. I don't see it. I don't see the AE map in there. Also, did you guys, speaking of the jibby jab, there's a couple things here. I'm getting close to the end of the show here, but I wanted to point this out. This is something I really wanted to talk about, you guys. Read flu season. Read the subtitles on here. Especially bad this year. Doctors are saying it's going to be especially bad this year, but don't worry. There's a higher dose. You know what? Look. Right now, a new flu warning about flu season. Doctors say it could be especially bad this year, but there is a higher dose, you know what, for older Americans to get them protected. And then it literally tells you that the people who need to get this higher dose vaccine, I mean, think about this. What's been going on so far with this thing? I mean, we all know, everybody's been paying attention. So now there's a higher dose. And here's the scary thing. They're saying that there's a higher dose that they want, shot that they want everybody to get, right? And it's a flu shot. It's not COVID. It's for the flu. It's for the flu. Okay? So now they want you to get two. They want you to get the COVID shot and a flu shot. And I just want you guys, and when I saw this, I was like, it really raised a red flag for me. And I'm going to tell you guys why. I have to tell you guys a story about a personal experience that I had, a true life experience, when I was pregnant with my second child. I was 8.5 months pregnant with my second child, and I was, at the time, married to my husband who was in the military, and we were under military health care. So watch this. This is who they think should get both of these shots. Okay? Let me see. Oops, why did I like that? I didn't mean to do that. I was going to pause it here to have this up on here, okay? I was 8.5 months pregnant with my second child, and I was going in for weekly checkups at that point because my first pregnancy my son was born premature, and I was an at-risk pregnancy, and I was trying to do a VBAC at the time because my first was a C-section, so I wanted to do a VBAC, which is vaginal birth after cesarean section. And I even went and contacted the hospital where I had had my C-section before out in Sacramento, and I got the post-operation notes sent to the military hospital because they were not going to allow me to go give in that hospital and have a VBAC birth unless I got this information for them, so that, where the doctor who did it before said that that everything went really great, that I healed up beautifully, that there was very little to no risk of my uterus exploding or ripping, during my pregnancy, because that's one of the big things, is that they're afraid that when you go to full term with your baby and you've had a C-section, they worry about your uterus tearing and stuff, blah blah blah, during birth and all that stuff. So at least that's the excuse they give why they don't allow VBAC. But I think it's just because they just want to push you into it. because they don't want women thinking that they can independently go out into the woods and have babies. That's another thing, right? They want you thinking that in order to get that baby out, you have to have the help of a hospital, and you don't, for a long time. I mean, look at all the animals. They go out and they give birth in private, right? They just go have their baby. I mean, like laying down on your back. I mean, everything they tell you about how you should have your baby is completely wrong, right? And so they don't want women thinking that they can, have a baby, grow it inside of them, and then give birth to that baby without the help and constant monitoring of the hospital or your doctor, right? So there's that. So anyway, so I went in and they're like, okay, we're gonna give you two shots today. And at the time, back then, it wasn't COVID. It was H1N1 and it was the regular flu shot, and they gave me both in one day. And I was 8.5 months pregnant. The next day, I woke up and I felt like I was dying. My entire body hurt. I was constantly feeling nauseous. I could barely get up. I couldn't move. I was miserable. It felt like I got hit by a truck. It's the only way I know how to describe it. There was aches and pains in my body from head to toe. And like I said, I felt like I was dying for like a week. So, and that's, the Monday. I was going every Monday for these checkups. So I went the following Monday after I had spent the entire week feeling like death, and I could barely get myself to the hospital. Like I couldn't even eat anything. Like I couldn't even eat. I couldn't even stomach eating. So I had gone there, and I hadn't eaten. And so they put me on the little monitor thing to look at how the baby's doing. And the woman comes over to me and she's like, "You don't have any amniotic fluid in your womb." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Have you noticed anything leaking? Has your water broke?" And I was like, "No." I said, "I just felt like I've been sick all week. I'm feeling like I'm dying, but no, nothing like that." So come to find out that there's like little to no, almost no amniotic fluid in the womb, with my baby at that point, because I had been so sick this whole week. And they were monitoring him and he still had a good heartbeat and all that stuff, but they didn't let me leave the hospital. Long story short, they didn't let me leave the hospital. They ended up inducing labor in me because there was no amniotic fluid. My baby fortunately for me, my baby was pretty much full term. 8.5 weeks is considered a full term baby, right? If your baby's born after that, between, 40 weeks, 37 to 40 weeks, 38 weeks to 40 weeks, right? That's okay. So, they started inducing labor and I did not leave the hospital that day. And I ended up giving birth to my son at 6:48 p.m. And I had gone there at like 8 a.m. just for a checkup. Now, my son's fine. He's a healthy boy and everything. But, man, I fully believe that I almost lost my baby. They almost killed my baby. And, I found out later, much later, that that for the H1N1 flu shot that they were giving out at that time, that I was given, that there is a 731% increase in your chance of having a miscarriage. So when I found out that, I read that, and then, obviously what I had gone through in real life, in my own life, that to me sealed the deal. I know what these things are. I know what they're for. I know what they're doing. And this is like, it is what it is. And this is why we go around telling everybody you don't need this stuff. It's all a choice. Okay. It's a choice. You don't have to do it. It might suck for a while, but man, do not let these people inject you with anything. Do not let these people inject you with anything. And now they're trying to do what was done to me en masse. This is what I see. They're recommending that everybody go and get 2 of these things simultaneously in the same day. And they're recommending it to people who are pregnant. You know what? I don't have to like spell it out for you, like what I think is going to happen this season as a result of this. You know, it's first, you know, it was myocarditis, blood clots. Now it's going to be like spontaneous miscarriages, right? Oh, we don't know what's happening. So, you know, I would just, if you know anybody, just try. I mean, it's just, I can't. Anyway, I just had to go over that again because it's evil. It is evil of the highest measure. I mean, it is clearly like just, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no despair bear, for real. I feel like, yeah. So anyway, I saw that this morning and I thought that's really terrible what they're doing. So anyway, that's sort of like the bad news thing that I have today that's been going on. That's what they're going to be pushing this year. They're going to be pushing for everybody to get 2 different GB jabs at the same time. And they also have a higher dose one. So they're increasing the dose. They're upping it. And there's people out there who they're just going to keep going and getting them because they think they're getting their immune system boosted. I mean, it is a complete inversion of what happens in reality, and it's voluntary. Also, did you guys see Candace Owen put out a short, Candace Owens' thoughts on flat earth theory? Candace Owens did not poo-poo flat earth theory, and she also divulges that she thinks that the moon landing was an impossibility. And you guys, she says, and the moon is supposed to be something like 16,000. I wonder if I can play it without getting, like a copyright strike. I'm a little worried about playing stuff on here, but she does talk about, you know, oh, ew. Yeah, what are your thoughts on the increasingly, she says, that she thinks it's nuts, but she also doesn't believe that we went to the moon. And then she says that the moon is 16,000 miles away from Earth, which obviously it's much, much farther than that. But even as smart as she is, she doesn't know the heliocentric lie and the heliocentric numbers. So I found that very interesting. And I found, and the fact that she did say that and then did give that number out about how far away the moon is from the Earth. If somebody goes to her and tells her the real numbers, well, then that might even blow her mind even more. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Cheers, Stephanie. I just want, man, if somebody, even if they're a globe believer, if one person hears me talk about that and then it keeps them from getting that and it saves their baby, good. She wore a White Lives Matter shirt with Kanye. Oh, the scandal. Yeah. The hospital bill after having a baby is effing crazy. I know. No flu shot for me. I'm an RN and I see through the craziness in the last 2 years. Yes, that's right. A higher dose. Exactly, Carrie. Joelle needs a table. We get there early, so hopefully it won't be an issue. Joelle will get a table. If we run out of tables, we may just have to go buy some tables. But I think the place has a lot of tables. They'll be round instead of like the rectangle tables. But, you know, we can make it work. We make it work. Okay? Cheers, Film 7. You don't share my beliefs. Are you here and you're not a flat earther? And you're not banned and you're not talking crap. Wow, that's fascinating. Right on. Yeah. And return them when done. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We just go get some tables. That's cool. Everyone welcome. I just don't like, trolley people. I just prefer that everybody be nice. Everybody be nice. Alright, so there you go. Big Dipper, Flattoberfest, Nebula. Let's close that. Flip Flop Radio, Wooden, Nichols, and Ewar. Gonna be looking out for some content from them. That'll be fun. Merch, Flattoberfest. Oh, also, single flat earthers, all you single flat earthers, when you come to the event, you will, I gotta turn this. I have these that I'll be giving out. Let me go. There we go. Single flat earther with a little flat earth AE map under there. This will be your ticket to find other single flat earthers at the event this year. We're not doing the thing with the badges. All the badges are going to look the same. It's not a secret because the secret mingle didn't really work out so well. So now we're just full on single flat earther buttons, and they will be given out for free, totally free. If you are a single flat earther, just when you come and get your badge, ask for one, or if you don't get one when you get your badge if you get it at the park or we forget to give you one, just ask for one. I'm gonna have these. I got this huge bag of them, and I'm gonna have them at the front where the entrance there. So anybody who is a single flat earther, you can get one. Okay. Also, Mark Sargent will be raffling off his 32nd degree Mason hat that he wore on the Strange World show for many, many months. And you do have to be there to get it. Okay? So he's not going to mail it anywhere. Okay? None of that. No nonsense. If you want Mark's 32nd degree Mason hat, you got to be there and you got to buy a raffle ticket because Mark is raffling it off. Also, I think I have, let me see here. What do I have? I have 2 sets of guitar picks from Stephen Carpenter, who is the guitarist for the Deftones, who is a flat earther, whom I met. And we flat smacked a bunch of other rock stars with Stefan at the show. It was so great. We flat smacked James Hetfield's son. Ha ha ha. Anyway, I have a couple sets of these that I will also be raffling off at the event. So I'm going to use this opportunity to get rid of a bunch of like miscellaneous swag that I have built up and collected over the last year or so. So there's going to be lots of stuff to give away. I've got 2 complete sets, and then I have like 3 that are just geocentric. that just say geocentric. And on the back, it's got his signature of all of them. And I also have an extra That's Retarded one. But like whenever Steph gives them out, come on. Whenever Steph gives them out, he gives them out as a set. So I was trying to do the same and give them out as a set, but like I don't have equal numbers of all of them. So I have like some that are extra. So I would like to give out or raffle off a couple of sets of those at the event. And maybe I can give out the other extra ones too. So that will be given away. Also at the event, we'll have these too. Just fun little stuff. I've had these made. I got a couple bags of these as well. Flat earther buttons. And what else? There'll be other miscellaneous stuff. I don't know if I have it. The other thing. Okay, anyway. All right. And also what I would like to do is I'm going to make some of these shirts. And I'll be having these at the event. Let me go over here. Share screen. Okay, this is the shirt that Steph is wearing in that podcast that I showed you guys earlier. The Unveiling This Realm, the text glows in the dark, and the toroid is holographic. It's like, it's bling blingy. It shows all different colors, like iridescent. Or in crystal terms, it would be called anisotropic. But yeah, it's a super cool design. So I'm going to have some custom shirts there. We'll have lots of art as well. It's going to be just a blast, you guys. That's why I like it. It's like that's why I call it a festival, because it's more than just like a stuffy conference. It's about showing the creativity, and it's about all that cool stuff. How many people bought tickets? More than 200? More than 200, that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Thanks, What's It, for the 10% off. Can't wait to see him. Cool. Yes. Less than 2 weeks. And then for the local people, we're going to do a baby shower for Austin and Kai after the event, because it's just too much to organize and do all that stuff right before or during. So we're going to do a baby shower. I think I was looking at the dates, and I'm thinking we're going to do a baby shower for Austin and Kai November 5th. That's a Saturday. So, yeah, local people, November 5th, we'll be doing a baby shower for Austin and Kai. And if anybody wants, if you're coming to the event and you want to bring a shower gift, a baby shower gift for Kai, I'm sure that they would love it and appreciate it. Just so you guys know, anybody within earshot who likes to go shopping for babies, maybe you like to shop for babies. I know I like to shop for babies because I kind of miss it. There's all kinds of cute stuff that you can get for babies, and I don't ever shop for babies anymore because my babies are not babies anymore. But if you want to shop for a baby, you can go get Austin and Kai a little something for their baby and then give it to them at the event. Will there be beer at the event? Yes, the venue has a bar. The Shrine Club does have a bar. So there will be beverages of all kinds, okay? Yes. I did mushrooms before, but not since I woke up to FE. Maybe try it again and find out if I see something different. Yes. Stephanie, do it. Do it. I say do it. Do it. And we're also going to be having the event filmed by the same man, David Glennie, who did the filming for Solar Return. We're going to have Brian going around doing interviews. We're going to be documenting as much stuff as we can about the event, so I can have like something to put together afterward, like a whole thing about it. I'm also going to be live streaming it. The live stream will be different from what's being recorded. It's good, like what's going to be recorded is going to be like high quality documentation, behind the scenes, all that stuff. And, you know, getting one-on-one interviews with some of the attendees and some of the speakers. We're going to do, you know, interview all the speakers and just sort of get a lot of really cool footage while the event is going on. Because, you know, I put on these events and they're a lot of trouble and people come from all over the place and we really don't have that great of a documentation of them other than like the live streams and other live streams that people do. And so I really wanted to, and I invite other people who make films, who make content, to come free of charge if they want to use it to get content, and nobody shows up. So I hired a guy myself and I'll do it. Okay? You want something done, you got to do it yourself. So that's what's up. Let's see. What else? Anybody else in here? I'm from the Netherlands. You can buy a lot of stuff here. Oh, I know. I went to the Netherlands in the end of 2019 for a Flat Earth conference. And yes, I did go to the truffle shop and I bought some psychedelic truffles, because that's what they call them there. They're truffles, not mushrooms, right? For some reason, you can eat the truffle, but you can't eat the mushroom, like dirt, whatever that is. But yeah, I went there and I ate some truffles. That was fun. Just get the ones, remember how like, I just remember on there, it had like little, I think it was little Saturns or something, little planets. And like, if it had like 1 or 2 planets, it was like, kind of trippy, but not super strong. And then like 3 planets was more, and like 4 or 5. And those were the really trippy ones. I can't remember how the packaging went, but I feel like that's, I feel like that's what it was. Yeah. All right, you guys. I believe that's it. I think I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to go on about my day. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. Got to get going. Got to get stuff to do. Got to go check on my children. Make sure they've done all their schoolwork. Buy a grow kit. Yeah. I wanted to see if I could take a grow kit home, but I was too big of a chicken to try to take a grow kit home. Although I think I could have done it. All right, you guys. Hey, thank you so much for being with me here again on Coffee Talk with Karen B. It's always a pleasure. I love taking your calls and seeing your comments and spending my Moonday mornings with you all. If you're able, please join us for Flattoberfest 2022 for October 21st, 22nd, and 23rd at 2022 in Greenville, South Carolina. The 21st is a free meetup at the park. Oh, by the way, Freeman Fly texted me. He's stoked. Freeman Fly is going to be hanging out with us again for Flattoberfest. So there's going to be a lot of people there. David Weiss will be there. Bob will be there. You know, even though they're not doing presentations, they're going to be there all day and they're going to be free for you to talk to, which is even better than if they're there for the presentation, right? It's better if they're just there hanging out. So that's what's going on. Yeah. Keep an eye out for the announcements for next year's event. Haven't done it yet, but it's going to be coming soon after Flattoberfest, but you know. So yeah, you all have a wonderful, wonderful wonderful day. And for those who wish to send me stuff through snail mail, you can send it to P.O. Box 10, Earl, North Carolina, 28038. There are also links below for Flat Earth merch, and you can send me donations, and I do appreciate all the support. Sincerely, thank you very much. Also, please go to flatearthfestivals.com for all information about upcoming Flattoberfests and Flat Earth-friendly local meetups. If you are organizing a local Flat Earth meetup, email me at flatearthfestivals@protonmail.com with your meetup information to have it listed on the website for free. For everything else, you can email me at karenbfe@protonmail.com. Thank you for being here.